park the bus a little bit, wait for you to make the mistake. Same with a lot of these CIS squads. We've been covering that with Spirit. And yeah, I think that, look, NIP, they're riding a bit of a high, right? You think about Blast, they had that fantastic performance against Astralis. That was ZTR's debut. Coming in here, they've already taken down VP, so they'll be confident. But I really think that there's probably more pressure on VP's shoulders than what there would be for the Ninjas. Molotov's towards top Banana. Gonna push them right back, and here he is again. Kick it taking a lot of space. 4 players for VP already in Banana, just one.
I know it shouldn't blow my mind, Chad, but it did blow my mind when I looked at Plopsky's profile and saw he's 18 years old. I mean, like, it feels like he's been 17 for 3 years now.
Yeah, well, we talked about like the changing of the guard a couple years ago, right? But it has really been in the last, year and a half, I would say, just a massive influx of these young fraggers, the pure CSGO players, as we like to call them.
Yeah, the thoroughbreds. Let's see what happens here with Hampus's Deagle, because Buster's going to be ahead of that smoke. I say that as he moonwalks back, doesn't want to be caught on the swing, doesn't know what's around the corner.
All right, quite a slow round again, and we're going to be getting a lot of this out of VP.
I mean, there's no way Hampus's single smoke is going to corral the entire execute into the stack. Somehow ZTR's got to dissuade them from short if he wants this to pay off. I don't know, a Deagle headshot would be nice, but it seems that other than posturing, there's nothing more to come of it from VP. 40 seconds on the clock as they walk back to Banana, just cutting noise. And utility-wise, I see 2 smoke grenades. Hampus, what have you got? What are you made of, my man?
They're not rotating either, so as boring as this might sound, NIP could just save unless Hampus gets 1 or 2 through the smoke here. 20 seconds, still no rotation from NIP.
Yeah, it's almost like they're kind of accepting that they'll just have another go.
Yeah, if Hampus can slow the plant, like, he's a one-man army right now. They're starting to move over a little bit. Hampus is isolated. The smokes will be fading shortly. He might just have to go down with the ship here, but you can already see the intent of NIP. They're wanting to save. We've spoken about this with the Ninjas in the past. I think we called it the double dip Deagles because they were doing a lot of these kind of saves with the Deagles in play. And they're holding on to these smokes as well. So they gambled. When you're looking at teams on a map like Inferno, if you get banana control, you can just execute B. A lot of teams don't like going up short or apartments because of those closer duels. So
Chad,
long was
I'm thinking about it now, Chad.
Yeah.
Is there any reason not to gamble stack on your second round force? Because you gamble stack, you've got a better chance if they come your site, and third round would be an eco regardless. Like, I mean, this is Threat probably just walking through the logical flowchart and saying, we gamble stack every force.
Yeah, and look, that means they get the option
second round
now,
force,
and this one here they can go for, right?
Bingo.
So you're bang on in that regard, right? It's basically what we talk about with percentage Counter-Strike. There's no point just throwing your bodies on the line right here, and if you do make the right call with that stack, they're coming into more numbers, and you can trade more efficiently in that regard. You can just see how simple this is, right? At this point, VP are just dry running. They're sitting here, they're going through the paces, what they do in practice, talking it through, and not really having to worry too much because NIP didn't force the issue. But this round right here, round number 3, we will see them force the issue because they don't need to hold on to this going forward.
That's a CT smoke, and I wonder what that gives Hampus to work with. Nothing other than lead in his face. Has his teeth knocked out by Buster, and it looks like they are going to bust into this site. Just like that, he's already across pool. They're not giving NIP a chance to set up for any sort of ratty smoke angles.
Good
nade. That's about it.
What a pace change as well. So they've completely just locked NIP out here. And like I said, they're more likely to go for it this time round. They can save again. It will make for another anticlimactic situation, but that armor will be so good for them to keep if they can carry that through into round number 4. Means they won't have to invest.
Dude, imagine if VP go 3-0 up with 6 kills total.
That's not bad at all, is it? Not even having to get
I think there's some bloodshed coming, though. They want to stop and punish anyone exiting the site. Rez catches kick it, forces that AK onto the ground. 2 AKs actually on Buster and Yakinda. One's loose now. Yeah, that's not bad. And I think James going down with the ship.
Oh, he is now. Cops a bullet on the way out the door. Sanji and Yakinda survive with an AK and a Galil. Some damage done for NIP, 3 of which just saved armor. They'll be able to upgrade with better utility. So yeah, they didn't have a crack at winning the round, but they had a crack at doing some damage.
I will admit that Buster's brave as hell seeing a CT smoke around top Banana and continuing to walk into it. Very alert, good shooting, and now 3-0. We get into our first weapon round from the CT side. Sweden, represented by the Ninjas in Pajamas, the new talent pool. Given the get right stamp of approval, one of the 2 people to predict that the Ninjas can take this one. This is an elimination game. Virtus Pro losing their domestic derby to Na'Vi yesterday. Quite the game, but Na'Vi definitely getting the revenge they sought.
They showed some class yesterday, Na'Vi, but I think VP will want to bounce back. This is elimination right here. Rez clearing out alt middle. Needs to be very careful because there is a player below him. Here's this aggressive CT smoke again, and they're going to try and use one side of it with a flash. Damage done.
He had just a single bullet land into the thigh of Buster. Sound Q is minimal info. That's bloodshed. Hampus puts Buster on notice. Nork does connect as well. Oh, and that's 3 frags in favor of the Ninjas. Awkward for James now. Last man standing. NIP corral VP into those independent duels.
He has lots of time to work this, James, but it doesn't look like anyone wants to have a look in here, and you can see Rez is still all the way over towards A.
But if he sits here for 20 seconds, Chad, you might want to know if he's still banana, you know? You might want that info. You might desire it. Rez might be getting a little nervous. Instead, they just send ZTR to back and get that info about top middle. He'll be actually holding long passively. So James going to have 3 to deal with here on the B site. Sound Q made, Nork towards CT.
Unless an opportunity presents itself,
it just going to time
looks
it
like
out?
a save, right? Yeah, he's just seeing if anybody wants to peek, and then he can still try and hit B, and otherwise he can back off. Here's his first offering. Oh, never mind.
Plopsky. Well, patience pays off for James, but I'm afraid that will be it. James time, saving that big green gun. Don't blame him. Heavy investment.
A little bit of damage, right? Better than no damage. If we're going to be...
And he's not even too punished for it because he has 4K in the bank, so he actually has the ability to still drop a weapon despite saving.
He will need to be doing just that, and so will Sanji most likely here, because the money for Yakinda, Buster, and Kick It leaves a lot to be desired. And yeah, that's you've got to. I can imagine what he's saying. Yeah. Probably nothing for stream.
No,
a few choice words for James in that moment.
We've all been there.
All right.
He's still top banana. Okay, I'm over it. We're moving on. Let's see how this one shapes up. Round 5. We do see the slight sacrifice for Sanji.
He dropped 2. He had 6.8. He dropped 2 8Ks.
No, he is a vending machine.
He dropped 2 8Ks.
He's a vending machine that gets 18 frags regardless.
It's only the 5th round of the game. Give the guy a break, please. Okay. All right, I might lose it in a second. 3-man lean early from NIP.
You wait till we get those classic rounds at least once per series where he goes unarmored Glock in a full buy.
He'll get to kill.
Yeah, of course he does. That's why he's one of my favorites in the VP roster, because against all odds, financial and otherwise,
he still does something.
He still does something.
Okay, mid control being worked on right now from VP. James scoped on short. And this is where Nork currently resides, but I don't think he'll be getting too aggressive right now, as NIP have offered up top mid control and top banana right now. And as I say that, of course, they retake Molotov out. Plopsky gained some info.
I do like that they haven't opted for the full smoke and incendiary combo. Just a molly and a flash to force them back off that half wall, but you will have to retake control, which is exactly what Buster has been set up to do. Flashed in, cleans out sandbags. A late boost for the B defenders. A VP going for it again. These guys are resilient. And Sanji, he's been given a treat.
Oh, upgrade mid-round here. Might be Christmas. Smoke's come in. They're hitting B fast.
Yeah, Hampus is going to need a multi-kill here. Kick It gone through the smoke on the pistol. Nearly a similar fate now. He's eating that flash. His baby blues. Now with 2 kills. One more could confirm the round, but James fights his way into the site. A spray, a wild spray, could deny the plan, but it doesn't seem... Oh, it does. The bomb will get planted, but both line up. James and Kick It caught. Poor old Yakinda yet to frag and 4 to find. Not clean on the first, and that will cost him. So NIP, successful retake. Thank you very much, Plopsky, as that smoke faded just a little too soon before they could get their after-plant positions.
NIP are already being very annoying in a lot of these scenarios. And what I mean by that was you could see that the intent from VP was clear. Let's make a lot of footsteps, let's spam and see what we can bait them into. They spammed back, and as that spam from the CTs was coming through, they lined up a second flash to pop and go. But NIP were already disengaging at that point. So the flash came, they were no longer close in front of the CT smoke in pool, they were tucked in towards sight, and that flash from VP, it meant nothing because they weren't pouncing. They were hoping to catch them off guard while they were unloading their mouse.
It's a very different call now. Look at this, 3 up second middle. They're going for a different flavor.
Okay. It's just the pistols, so a half buy. It's going to be hard for them to take space here without being quick about it.
Yeah, the space being taken on Banana for the first time. We haven't seen NIP do this. I think the awareness of what they're up against is going to encourage a bit more of a fact-finding mission.
They're popping through mid here, so these pistols could get onto Arch against Rez.
Nice work. He has perfectly avoided the flash and counter flash. Actually, it was a team one. Buster kind of sentences Yakinda to death. And they haven't lost a single player. They'll preserve 3 AK-47s on that CT side. So this is actually going to set NIP up for quite the run here. It's going to be a question of how quickly can VP stem the bleed of those brutal Kalashnikov rifles on the defensive side. Recovers himself a bomb, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this has been clean from NIP, and you have to consider how the first 3 rounds went, right? VP 1 pistol back off of the kick at 4K. He hasn't got a kill since. Then you consider how the 2 anti-ecos went. That was the Deagle 4 spies from NIP, where they only gave away 1 or 2 kills within those rounds. So they've really not given VP a chance to warm up the headshots, so to speak, and they've been keeping themselves honest, right? We'll sit back, we'll play this really slow. We understand what type of game we're here for. We don't need to get into a brawl straight away. And now they're being very jarring for VP. The AKs will come back out. There's no AWP for James here. Banana control from Buster has made a bit of impact over this side already. Molotovs to follow. Yakinda entering in. Needs to find a bit of space here.
He's been watching the mirror demos. Ooh, Sanji catching the aggression. That was an AWP in apps. Taking a leaf out of JW's book from 2015. That's a great angle, but only the one. Rez needed him a bit more there. He does damage. They start to surge towards the new addition. ZTR.
He's backing off. He's playing retake here.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a chance. Good damage again, but retake will have to be the name of the game. Good spray again. Hampers finishes the job. Oh, recovered utility. They're not in the site yet, but neither are the CTs. This is a great smoke. This enables them to walk on into the site, or at least have the threat of them walking through that smoke. That may delay the plant even further.
Yeah, bomb should be going down any second here, but you can see them grouping up, trying to take
Honestly, I think that smoke has bought them the 15 seconds here.
VP are really taking their time on this one. James
and he's so paranoid about that smoke play. As soon as he makes the sound cue, he's expecting a push. They're clearing pit. It's given the CTs chance to reposition, but James holding this apps peak, and Hampus just crouches on into the scope. Awkward now for the Swedes. CTR's so low. Plopsky is full HP and has the kit, but he's coming in from Moto. Great flash. Need the frag, gets it, will get traded. Buster and Pit, James and Apps, he knows where they both are. Has some time to work with, but James just gonna play a passive stance here. Oh, okay, that's some info at least. He knows that James is lurking in the apartments. He knows Buster's lurking in the pit. He doesn't really have the time for this anymore.
Yeah, it's all over Red Rover here. Plopsky's gonna either just go for damage or get out of dodge.
I think he just wants to stop Buster, right?
Well, the AWP gets away as well, so James already out of there. Plopsky, how much HP are you dealing with, my friend? Enough to stay alive in the pit, so does some damage. James holds on to his AWP and the round goes for VP, but that got a lot more highly contested than it looked like, right? Once they had made their way up mid and they had found those initial fights, they had site control for such a long period of time. They were being very thorough and it ended up panning out for them, but I was starting to get a little bit worried. And I want to make a note of the way that they're playing this aggressive apps and boiler setup, right? Rez has actually been in that position a couple of times now. So they're aware of how many resources VP are putting into these early banana takes. And that position where Sanji plays just at the base of halls, it's a very passive spot, right? The fact he even gets a kill, that's great. So that's all Sanji, in my opinion, right? They're really slowing that down and giving VP a chance to come back in towards A. We'll be able to buy here. NIP have a pretty decent bank. Nork hasn't even invested yet. Still got 10K left over. And we've got the GG.bet odds on your screen just here. VP considered the favorites by the bookmakers. And you can see ZTR. He's down the bottom, but I'm sure he'll warm up. He had a lot of impact for the boys within his debut.
Yeah, and I will say that there's a lot of interesting kind of tidbits as to his impact joining this roster. Aside from gameplay related stuff, he seems to be a very good communicator.
Even just then, you could see him doing a lot of talking just in that 2-on-3 retake situation.
And there's also that new air of motivation. Especially you combine that motivation of a new addition in combination with NIP struggling, as Rez outlined in his pre-match interview. Threat has got all the pieces of the puzzle to play his game. So do Virtus Pro, though. It's time to see how they meet, how they intersect. Battle on Banana is won by the CTs. Could be back towards A. In fact, the bomb is in apartments already. They've got a 3-man lean here as well, so
a lot of room here. A lot. With the fact that there's no one mid and no one top Banana anymore, NIP are holding on to a lot of utility, right? And this is where they're being that thorn in the side. So they've soaked up the early aggression. They've actually dealt and met it. And now they can limp out their nades. as there's only 50 seconds left, VP aren't working with anything other than 2 smokes and 1 flashbang. So if they go for an execute,
dude, if they walk banana, yeah,
be thrown.
This is going to get really awkward. You're probably going to have to run through a grey screen. Plopsky doesn't have one, but Hampus does.
And
he's got an incendiary as well. Okay, so you either push through this or you've got 15 seconds to plant once it fades. Tracer fires a little too much of a cue. He doesn't hear the steps, doesn't drop the flames. VP, this is getting really uncomfortable now.
They can still extinguish, but this is so risky.
Yakinda wins his duel in the flames. Quick trade. Bombs loose, 14 seconds. 3 of them held at bay by the spray. 10 seconds, get it down. Sanji, of course, steps up to the plate. Plopsky trying to deny, and he has. That's a round-winning performance from Plopsky. Hampus aiding as well. And he wants it. One more, hiding on the coffins. He looked for Paul. Kickit saves himself. Okay, 4-4, but I'm actually very impressed by the way NIP have punished the VP gaps here.
There's just not enough threats across the map here to make NIP use this utility. They should never have that much left going into a 30-second execute. The whole point,
because of the silence of VP.
Yeah, well, the whole point of being a late team is that you're meant to be able to milk this utility. You're meant to show enough threats earlier in the round. The fact that Buster loses that early duel to Plopsky, thumbs up again to Plopsky, playing fantastic against VP. That just stifles it, right? So, okay, well, we've lost our entry frag. Now we're not going to take any risks. We don't want to give away any more kills. But if you don't take risks and you don't look threatening, you can't bait utility. So it's a bit of a catch-22 cycle right there.
Yeah, and seeing Plopsky have these kind of performances, or the kind of performances he had in that last game, that's a big duel to win. Yakinda making more nightmares for Nork. Sanji caught him previously, and out they go. Look at the pace. ZTR is under threat. Rez has relieved some pressure. He caught Sanji with the flames as well. This gets awkward. One chance for Jame, perhaps. He's got to try and look for Plopsky's push, and he has.
He's open.
Yeah, he's going to just knife out. A complete change-up. What's the reaction from NIP? How quickly will they piece this together? I think Hampus is working it out. The in-game leader. Knife out as well. Jame will beat him to it, will he?
He's just taking all the space.
So quickly. He has paused enough for Hampus to tuck in. If he gets the smoke down...
If he doesn't disrespect it, that rotation means nothing. Everybody's moved for no reason. Yeah, you can see they're already cancelling.
Boom.
So it makes sense. Jame wouldn't be expecting the bomb site to be open by the time he rotates over. He had a window he wasn't aware of, and now this has forced the rotation from NIP. Rez leaning over towards the B bomb site as well, and VP are yet to make up their mind. So 38 seconds left on the clock. Flash towards middle just to get them back a bit of room.
Oh, they're running out of time again, Chad.
Yeah, and look who's tucked in towards that
Have they got
graveyard
util?
position.
They've got so much of it. By the time you get to short, you've got 15 seconds. If they molly it, you've got 7.
Yeah, so the intent now is shown. Molly's coming, footsteps are going to be heard.
An incendiary would do wonders here, but ZTR's got bullets too. And into the pain train, just Jame. He gets 1, but it will be the Ninja's 5th. 4 for Rez in that one, 4 from Plopsky in the previous. The individuals of NIP are pulling them into a lead here on the defense.
It feels like Threats briefed them with, hey, let's not just be strung around by these guys doing late round hits, late round fakes, that kind of stuff.
I mean, even just a pep talk saying, make sure every nade you're throwing is justifiable.
Sure, don't just throw one of those willy-nilly flashes, one of those willy-nilly nades. Make sure that you're actually going to hit a target. And I love the fact that not only did they deal with a late round play here, they also dealt with the early play. Yakinda gets the opening kill, and then they exploded off of that, and NIP have been ready for both. So this is good stuff. Pretty good energy flowing right now in the Swedish camp as we're going into round number 10, and it's just down to pistols for VP here. Looks like NIP will be stretching their legs a little bit. Nades down the bottom, harassing Kickit. He's, well, been absolutely peppered through that smoke. The nade will finish him off. Another kill for Plopsky. And we're not expecting too much here. Yakinda, the young Latvian, up mid with the eagle onto Rez. Definitely making that one look easy.
Give me one. Oh! Them. Yes, please. Yakinda is in the server. He announces his presence. Jane wants to blow the head off of ZTR. He's got 2 players to deal with, and I think in a bit of info for Yakinda.
All the timing.
Yeah, it's everything. 1 from Library, ZTR to distract. Plopsky's a bit slow through this, and another frag for Yakinda. He is just taking this round by the horns. Finally found. Can they convert? Every heroic play.
2 Glocks here, though.
1 down. Jame tucked on site. Buster in apps. Maybe the element of surprise from Boiler. Hampus doesn't do his due diligence. He didn't check it, didn't sweep in just to have a glance, but it is only a Glock. Reaction from Hampus can be quick and swift. In they come. No info pit. What's Buster up to? He's
playing late for the clutch.
That's the first.
He wants to get a gun.
He could find the AWP. There is an AWP, but it's not planted for him.
He needs to get a move on.
It's not planted for him. What do you do? What? Okay.
Both off it.
Oh! Oh, what a catch! The fake, and they move into his line of sight. He sneaks out of the boiler, doesn't opt for short. Round the world, and a humiliating defeat there. Buster pulls their pants down in front of the whole class.
That is daylight robbery. Look at this from Yakinda. He does so much here as one individual, right? This is 3 kills to open up the A bomb site, and then because he's done so much, he tries to do more, right? You can't really fault the guy for messing around in the smoke, picking up guns. He's killing everybody at this stage, and then the fact that they convert that with the Glock, Buster letting them up short, what is going on?
Yeah, the restraint he displayed there. Look at these CT smokes. This is a strat. This is something.
Stuff. Okay, a very difficult round to pull off. They're going to know that this is an option right now. More spam down mid. VP are on high alert for aggression, and Yakinda deals with it. It's so telegraphed. That's the problem with those kind of smoke strats. If you don't find anything, you're in so much trouble.
Devil's advocate. If you throw that and you pull it off, you throw them and don't do anything, you just guarantee you've shaved 40 seconds off a VP's clock. However, didn't work out so well. 2 of their best players, both with 11 frags, now forced to sit on the bench for round 11.
All right, these 3 M4s, what are they going to do here? Leaving Hampus, the in-game leader, with the sole responsibility of Banana now getting a little bit aggressive, kicking and Buster out of sight, and Yakinda ready to pivot from stairs as well. Putting the brakes on here, VP, with a minute on the clock, waiting for any more aggression of NIP. And look at that, spots the leg through the boards, and down she goes. So the B bomb site is open for business. How quick do VP want to accelerate here? They don't take any unnecessary risks.
You really don't.
They have a lot of utility left because of that aggressive maneuver. So whatever execute they go for is going to be picture perfect. There won't be any missing flashes, any missing smokes. The mollies can be good as well. May as well cross your T's and dot your I's as we see it all get lobbed on over.
And that is a B take, folks. Look at your options. What did you have available to you if you were on this site?
Cleared out, bomb goes down.
And the main counter chat, actually, I think now, while they save, would be a good chance for you to explain why that smoke we saw G2 throwing, you know, near Emo, you bounce it off the pillar just to isolate between Nubox and Emo, so there's...
Oh, yeah, for the CT sides, yeah. So it gives you a bit more of an added wall. If you want to go to the back of the B side,
this is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So they're lobbing a smoke between those 2 pillars there, which means as the T's are running in, they can sit there and spam the smoke. You can get picked from either side of that. It means you can't Molotov that player out of position, can stay alive, and it makes you a nuisance, right? Your teammates are rotating it from A, they're lobbing flashes. We're coming, mate. The flashes are coming. And you stay alive for as long as you can, right? This is the job of not only going for frags, but delaying for time to set your teammates up. And that's something we've been seeing more and more of as the bomb will go off. 7 players survive. And now 6 rounds on the board for VP. So some of the rounds where they lose and it goes out by time, we get those Na'Vi flashbacks, right? We were always so frustrated years ago, but you can just see how they grind and grate away at you. If you want to take the risks and you want to take the game to them,
that's such an ang he has there. There's no way Rez can even see him.
Exactly. But that aggressive maneuver, right? If they were going fast Banana or for a faster play and they're running up second middle with nades out, mollying the window, they're ready to hit A, they probably catch 1 or 2 with their pants down, right? Maybe a guy in front of that smoke and they can really split that default from VP. Just unfortunate that they're dealing with such a passive squad here. It will be a timeout. Threat's chance to chime in on the microphone because they're working with very little money here.
I mean, they time out rounds, but they also have rounds like this where Yakinda just walks in, decides he's taking long, decides he's taking another frag onto the AWPer. I mean, Nork's had a nightmare so far. I do want to highlight, we've seen his deaths. He's died aggressive apps, he's died passive apps, and now he's died to a Deagle holding long with an AWP, which you really can't even fault him for. This was the Buster clutch, both off the bomb, both completely unawares as to where he's coming from, and that was the advantage. His trigger discipline and his decision-making converting 1. Yakinda's the same with his mechanical prowess on that Desert Eagle.
So now it's job of playing Where's Waldo. Find out where these M4s are and try to avoid them as Hampus's life goes down
if
very
they just
early.
Accelerate, sometimes they do.
It's good, that pace change, right? It keeps you on your toes a bit. Even for me, like I'm sitting here going, when are VP going to accelerate? Because I'm expecting them to put the brakes on right now, but they're barreling forward and they get B-bomb site again. I want to get excited, but after what I saw happen against Na'Vi yesterday with that CT side, right, it was like, oh, they do have the ability to just capitulate, right? Now, that is against Na'Vi. We know Na'Vi are a quality squad.
Okay, Google, define capitulate.
I think I used it right.
No, but it's like, you want to give me a definition?
To like crumble, fall apart.
Okay, I'm going to see what the internet says.
Collapse.
It sounds nice. Capitulate.
I couldn't spell it if you asked me to.
I did it. Cease to resist an opponent.
Okay. I just use other descriptive words.
Patriots had to capitulate to the enemy forces.
There we go.
All right.
We're all learning together. I was never very good at school in general. It wasn't one of the things I was very strong at, learning.
Well, certainly learning that way. Clearly you are capable of learning, Chad. You We're so obsessed about Counter-Strike, you learn every intricacy of it, you know?
And we're still learning today as you watch these kids play. It's crazy the way that they think about the game and just the way that they use all of the details to their advantage. It's hard when you talk to players who are still currently playing, who were playing back in the early days of CSGO, you'd be like, well, you know, what's changed? And they don't notice it because they've been part of that change. But I've physically watched it. When we do these map fly-throughs in the breaks and it changes from old nuke to new nuke, I don't know how many people are actually noting those things. I played on the old nuke, right?
Yeah.
For me, like the version of the game, it's changed so much. It looks completely different.
Yeah, in the words of Albert Einstein, Chad, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Up banana was Yakinda. Early info found. Plopsky might want to deny this. It's only the HE and trivial damage dealt.
No AWP for Nork this time, so we might see a bit more impact from him because he has been caught with that AWP, as you were pointing out, right? Either as part of an aggressive maneuver or holding a line. It's always difficult for an AWPer on a map like Inferno. Boosted up now on the porch side is Rez. ZTR in support from side.
I think Nork needs a Nork round for that bit of a boost. Lineups and execution. Do they commit behind this? All 5 are here, you'd expect so. Great smoke. Nork's gonna have to either just spray it. And he has. Good damage. Both to Nork, and they push for it. They really want to punish. That is horrible stuff. CTR's off angle. A double. Tracer fire's untrackable. Oh, and he gets more. That is huge damage from the new addition. 35 seconds. Sanji looking to clutch. Smoke is great, as is the plant. Hampus is disrespecting. They both push it. They know they have the numbers advantage, just looking to trade as they swing, and that is the punish. ZTR, his multi-kill gives them that opportunity.
Yeah, great stuff. Absolutely great stuff there. Just playing in and around those smokes, repositioning somewhere you'd never expect up close towards that scooter position. And able to do a lot of damage, and it got very gnarly there for a second. You see coming through the smokes, different angles.
Everyone's looking at sight.
Yeah, because of that smoke that he was playing in front of, they didn't think they could get shot from the pit line, right? And he was playing the pit line just much more forward. So great positional work there. And that is round-winning impact, of course. Sanji getting overwhelmed by the final 2. Molly goes down, they push him back, only so many places he can be. And unfortunate for Sanji there, left in a clutch scenario. 7-6 now, guns come back out. Nork has that AWP in hand. Last up banana, Molotoving back off the line. They'll know the AWP was B now, so might accelerate their pace towards top mid. James has a chance to take some space as Kickit takes down Plopsky, and all over the map there's action.
How quickly they react after getting that frag on B. They just all fall out of banana.
Yeah, there's no, I'll just wait for the push.
Mission accomplished,
they,
you know,
they
like,
know exactly how they can play.
He can
with these
disappear.
situations.
The only time he has to be concerned about banana is if we see retake flashes or something like that. That's when Kickit's aware he has to be paying his attention. Of course, the gap is when if you do so unannounced, you know, you break the predictable game.
This is a perfect setup if they go for this 3-man apps pop. 2 in pit. Gonna be hard to clear both of these
lines. They won't be
lines.
flashed by this util. James Flash isn't gonna do diddly squat. Oh dear, weapon swap. Round over, just like that.
Well, the setup was good. The timing just caught them off guard there, and you can just see how quick they get cleaned up. When you're going for a double pit setup, you're basically giving up the mid to B, right? You're hoping to defend right there and then trading out efficiently and giving your rotation time. Those kills happened instantaneously, and you can see what that means. Nork and Hampus have to hold on to these guns for the final round of play. So VP will win the half here. This is their map choice. We'll be moving to Overpass next, and I'm sure they're more than comfortable going back into that one. If you missed it, and you're going to hear us talking about it when we do get to Overpass, and I'm sure the desk will get stuck in as well. Plopsky's performance for these guys was absolutely insane. I can't stress it enough just how much of a force he was in that matchup. I'll bring it up here for everybody. The scoreline was 16-13, right?
Sweet Jesus.
It was a 16-13 game where Plopsky, if I bring up just his Overpass stats, in the first half on the T side was 26 for 11. The next closest on his team had 9 kills, right? It was a huge performance for Plopsky in that game, and a game-winning performance. So if he can replicate that here today, I'll be very impressed.
Like his T side alone was absurd.
Yeah, he ended up with 37 kills, I believe.
Good to see Plopsky returning to form. I mean, he was the tour de force that kept them relevant when they were, you know, in between. Swapping the old for the new.
He was exciting as well, right? Because that was when we had the Krieg and the AUG in play, and he was one of those kids who were like, wow, they're just so good with these rifles. So that he's able to keep it up. And as we move into the final round here, Bit Deagle for Rez, a auto shotty for ZTR. Nork might have to find some impact with that AWP now.
Owie. Okay, so there's often bloodshed on Banana early. This time it favors the Ninjas. Will Sanji beat out Nork again? No, revenge for the Swedish sniper. Too early disadvantage frags.
Pushing.
Kicker wants to claw one back, and he's given a chance. Oh, what a spray! He transfers into Hampus. Red face now, the Swedes have thrown away their advantage.
Oh, there was a smoke there somewhere on the ground. I think his teammate's nade blew that away, so Kickit looking a little bit lost for a moment. He'll eventually find it. Molly is good.
Oh man, Kickit. He had to force the issue. He had to find a way back into the round, and he has the spray. Fresh mag found. Kickit doesn't really have the health to try and cross that smoke, but ZTR, will he spray any more? No, sneaking across now, taking some gambles, and another from Kickit. He's making this round a reality. It looked near impossible, losing 2 early frags on Banana. Double AKs pushing for the info. And he's going to get one more chance. CTR will deny it. 2-on-2.
Buster's still low here, so there is a chance that NIP can win this round.
Oh, certainly, but a kicker has made it even competitive to begin with. Let's see how that bomb goes down. With 24 seconds left, it is a priority. James covered by Buster. And this walk from ZTR with the flash as well enables the frag. They just need one more. James, full health, 2 flashes. They'll suspect this. Smoke on Banana so they can start their hunt. An elevated position from ZTR could give him an off angle. Such a tight line hailed by James, though.
Oh, they have no idea.
They really don't. Kit's on Nork. Spray is everything. Oh, and already won. Need the trade. James' evasive jump isn't quite enough, but he's got time. Scoops up the kit and scoops up the final round of our first half. We have got a game here, folks. 8 to VP, 7 to the Ninjas. We will BRB. time to rock and roll. Do see NIP close the gap. A nice attempt from Kickett, though. Got to give him credit. 5v3 becomes a 3v3. Lovely spray. Finishes off nicely, though. ZTR clutches up. The new addition continues to hang with the big boys. Taking a look at the scores on the doors, you can see an even kill spread. Two members of one of either side have so far had a bit of a tough time of it. Sanji on one. Nork, Gachi getting caught. Fair few times on that CT side. It's all smiles. It's early days. This is an elimination game, though. I'm Machine. I'm joined by Sponge, and we have got NIP now on the T side. It's time to see how they plan to approach this one. GT.bet favoring VP, and straight up middle, Yakinda, Sanji. Oh dear, it's all blue on brown. And just like that, you blink and you miss it. If you've just gone to get a drink and you've sat back down, it's 9-7. My lord, VP, deal with it. Hampus wants to change my mind. I have to do a whole lot more than that to do so.
This would be an absolute miracle round.
Where was Sanji holding from?
They were just crossfired
Arch. It was long and Arch, yeah.
Yeah, and they just hopped up one at a time, unable to trade, and were executed. So you can see all the bodies with the bomb scattered top middle. Normally you would have a smoke or a flash, obviously pissed around utility a little bit light on, thought they could get away with just the numbers, and that's clearly not the case here as Hampus. 1-on-5, this is quite the way to kick off the second half. 55 seconds left. Could isolate a fight here onto short. Does so. Position given up. Another dink. Jame and Kickett are low.
He ain't giving up without a fight, Chad.
He even got the bomb. So now this actually does become a little bit interesting. If he catches Jame here, which he could do.
Yeah, but the timing's so good. Jame just ducked under and could have had a clean kill. He doesn't, though. Hampus pops his head and Buster, one bullet.
Oh my God, he's on the full HP.
Okay. He makes that scary. Fair play to Hampus. He's definitely one of the leaders we put in the fracking in-game leader category.
It's becoming more and more that way. In-game leaders used to be the players that would go and tell their teammates what to do, right? For me now, the best in-game leaders in the game are the ones who don't tell their teammates what to do and just go and do it.
They show them what to do.
Exactly, right? They're the ones who go, well, there's a gap here, or a play needs to be made here. They're the ones who seem to be taking it. You think about that list of players. We have Alexi B does it, Boomich does it, obviously Glaive does it.
It would be easier, or rather, excuse me, more difficult to actually list in-game leaders that struggle to frag, actually, at this point in time. There really has been a long transition. Jame has caught Hampus early, so no more funny business with his Glock. But expecting to see those SMGs farming. 4, in fact, have been invested in by VP, so it does bode an interesting question as to how they'll be able to handle the next round.
Yeah, with the AK-47s and the Galils coming on through. CTR has a Deagle, so let's see. What do you got, my friend? The barrel's been spotted, you're being tagged up, and you're being collapsed on from both sides, so probably not too much more. Jam and Kick at both strike. That's going to leave Rez and Nork. And they're just soaking up some of this extra utility that's being thrown. So Nork now, minute left on the clock, bomb in hand. Hearing some footsteps, having a good time, melting down the clock, just chilling out.
He's a dead man.
All right, well, VP did everybody a bit of a favor there and made that one quicker than it would have ended up. And now the scoreline 10-7. We will get the action underway. The guns come out. AKs are being purchased on through. One of the notes you want to have here is if you are going to go for that full eco on the second and you don't manage to get a plant to really help your economy along, you're going to be light on utility, and you can see that reflected here. There's only a handful of smokes. There's a couple of Molotovs in play.
I mean, to do a T-side Inferno round with 4 flashbangs, never mind. I mean, they've prioritized smokes. 4 flashbangs, like, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You need to take mid or top banana early. You want to try and do it without investing too much of that util.
And coughing too much damage on the
Yeah, there's more to come, more to come. Perfectly lined up incendiary, forces out their smoke, and he's not going to give him a break.
Oh,
it's a slaughter. Hampus has got nothing left. He's on life support. ZTR and Nork wondering where on earth this round went wrong.
If we can get a replay of that to show the molly that they threw, the smoke that NIP threw on that and opened up 2 one-ways on either side of the smoke for the CTs to punish, right? That there was some beautiful stuff. The nades were good too. Like a heat-seeking missile as Yakinda in those bushes.
Yeah, I almost want like a bird's eye view of that take.
It looked beautiful. And now it's just 3 players taking top mid. Hampus very, very low. So his impact, he'll need to strike without... Okay, even more nade damage here. We saw a lot of this yesterday from Astralis. VP are doing a good job here. Nork might catch a foot on the jiggle here. Oh, we get spotted on the jump.
It was really interesting to hear the way Yanko framed it. When you're playing against Astralis, you know, we saw EG just copping so much nade damage. Talk about it in a second, because CTR going down. That's the death sentence we were waiting for. But yeah, Astralis are at a point, Yenka was saying, where you can't play the way you're supposed to play. You can't play standard because Astralis are ready to beat standard. Sure. So, you know, finding that slight gap, that slight assumption that they're making and operating under, you know, for example, he was suggesting, using Dust 2 as an example, run boost around short. Don't throw the smokes before you execute. Do something that Astralis are using as a cue to body bag you.
Yeah, because I guess they're the ones who helped establish a lot of the tendencies, right? So it's like, well, we know what you're doing, and we know the best way to punish it as well. So it's not
you almost have to kind of, you know, edit the rule book.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the keys to the car, the other is to know how to drive it, and Astralis are the ones who made it. So it gets a little bit more difficult.
I'm giving that analogy a solid 9 out of 10. Chad, a pat on the back, gold star.
Thank you very much. All right, well, this one here, just milked up towards the A bomb site. Not too many dramas whatsoever, and VP are looking very good.
They are.
11-7 now. Money for NIP, not great. We'll just have to be one of these half buys. And here's the scores for everybody playing at home. Yakinda leading the way with 99 ADR and 14 kills. On the other side, Hampus, 12 kills for him. He can be matched with Plopsky, 12 as well. And then Kickit, the highest frags in the server of 15.
So if you want to be one of the best teams in the world in Counter-Strike, you've got to be really good at not losing to these rounds. These are the rounds which swing the entire momentum. Those incredible rounds you've had to put 11 on the board can all fall flat as momentum can shift when a round like this is converted. NIP, of course, will have potentially a page in the strat book designed to make these rounds threatening.
You can see how passive they are as well. So just take a look at the radar, right? They are stuck in some of the most passive T-side positions early. They're expecting either VP aggression like they did on their first anti-eco with those SMGs, or they want to just make sure that the early utility damage doesn't come through so they can execute with these smokes. Because you're right, that page that they've opened up, Threat's gone, hey, let's run this pocket strat. So these smokes, they have an idea where they want to isolate and where they want to hit. Some of them might be used just to milk out more utility, or it could be all used as one part of an elaborate plan. So back in the day, the Frenchmen used to have a strat where they would smoke off Library, Arch, the Pit, and they would swarm onto the A bomb site. We might see something similar out of the Swedes.
And if anyone was sitting there saying, why are you just sitting there standing still? Look how many smokes are blooming. Look how many nades are being thrown. They have achieved already, without losing a player, pulling all of this nades that will no longer be available for perhaps a retake, perhaps a defense of this banana push.
So one flash over the roof and Yakinda will have to start hightailing it back, and he actually doesn't have any utility whatsoever. So the first wave of smokes go out, one to Arch, one over towards him.
Forced to rotate, this is good. Yakinda, lot of work to do. Buster's on his way, so is James. I think they've worked it out. It's all a little bit of a lie. I don't know if they're gonna get much more. Yakinda catching one on the way across. The bomb is across. A bomb plant would go a long way. Plopsky punching in the digits now.
Have another smoke for spawn here, so if they can just slow this one down. If VP take too long on this retake, the pistols and some good crossfires could work. There's that smoke to spawn again, so another 18 seconds just goes up on the counter.
Virtus Pro favored here. Flash turned perfectly. Sanji onto the first, knows there's new box, knows Emo's a possibility. Hampus needs at least one headshot here, and the angle, Nork can't convert, no one can, and just in the nick of time, VP will get that defused. They really were not in a hurry there, Chad. That's perfect time management.
And the fact that they keep everybody alive is impressive stuff. The B retakes, the retakes in general on a map like Inferno, you hear us talking about it, they're so difficult, even against pistols. And the fact that they do this and look so cool doing it is great stuff as VP continue to march forward. The plant, look, it's not the end of the world, especially if you're able to keep everybody alive like this. There will be a little bit of extra money going into the NIP bank balance. Nork will be picking up that AWP for the T side, and the AKs will be alongside of it, and we can see the fans of the fan cams.
Whoa, armored.
Is that a helmet?
I think it might be.
Might be going for a little bit of a bike ride soon. Early mollies again. They want to get James activated here. Can see him picking in front of that molly. He's even going to keep pushing. It's extinguished, and the flashes go back and forth. So no real information for James here, just that nobody's peeking in from T stairs. Nork might be considering it soon. We might actually get one of these head-to-head AWP duels as he's actually just been boosted up on the wall. More utility to top mid now. NIP trying to get Boiler and Hall's control. They'll be doing just that. Raz up into the window. You need one of the two NIP, either top mid or top banana, and right now they don't have either.
Very loose top mid hold, I will admit. A single flash can force Sanji off of this line. The smoke works just as well. So top mid denied, no info for VP there. full working on the A pressure. Plopsky just holding that banana aggression, and so 50 seconds thrust onto the clock. Starting to work their magic.
Yeah, with this much mid control here and this little time on the clock.
They've got so much util, Chad. What's the go?
Well, get banana back, but this is a real problem. James still on that wall. If they can't actually take banana control, that's going to be a 4-man A stack.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're working on. Nork's aware of the possibility.
VP is so ready.
And look at the flash. Plopsky does well to find the frag. Into the site now. Kiket's vision restored. Oh, a dink. Pressure. ZTR's found him. And Sanji's struggling. NIP, they walk into the stack, but they beat it. Bombs down. Yakinda, he was trying to be the last man to rotate in to call it a 4-man stack, but a bit late to the party. That's a big win for NIP, and the fact that they don't lose a single man on that, I'm almost surprised.
The thing is, they were so ready for that because we could see they wanted banana aggression back. They didn't get it. James still had control. James still had full info. Yakinda even got there in time. That pot flash for mid to secure it also spurs NIP forward, and just nobody from VP were able to make their kills. So that's great that the Ninjas going into a stack like that were able to convert around, get themselves up to 8 now, their first here within the second half. Here it is. So that pot flash, he's so unlucky. There were multiple blind players there. Plopsky does a great job, and then they just follow straight through. Molly towards the pit, focusing sight. Flashes are good, and everybody just peeking out. Lots of different elevations to deal with, and just swarmed and overwhelmed. So it's one of those situations where you know what's about to happen. You just need to hit those headshots. Sounds simple.
Obviously, just hit the headshots.
Definitely not. Okay, round 21. Still by looking very good. The money is being whittled down a little bit for VP. Yakinda's got the most with 10k left over. James has about 4k to his name. So another buy round will be possible if VP lose this one. But he'd want to finish this as quickly as possible. Don't let NIP get some steam.
Oh, that was his chance. Yakinda. He brings the aggression in such a crucial game as well to have that confidence behind it, had the utility behind it to set him up for success. An early casualty for the Ninjas.
Pop an A again.
Yeah, and they got top mid. Sanji will hear all of this. He has the support of, I believe that's Buster, actually. And chaotic spray. Sanji struggles. Kiket needs more. And he's found it. Quickly traded. Hamper survives from Balk. They will have the utility. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of utility, so just planning this one out. Oh, he's ahead of it. He's ahead of the Molotov. Now Nork could be caught here. Yeah, he's not expecting this. Oh! And he misses his shot as well! Nightmare fuel! Good shooting. Hampus needs it all. 1v3. Turns the flash. Another duel. One out by Hampus. Just the one now to deal with, and the bomb is ticking. He has taken this advantage by force. Expecting the hunt. Knows Buster's just going to be lurking on that smoke. He's also paranoid about the graveyard play. Oh! Spots him! Buster gets the element of surprise. He's got the time. Got the kit. A valiant attempt from the in-game leader.
Yeah, take a deep breath right there. That one got very, very close. Those fights, he was able to isolate those one-on-one positions from the bike.
Like, obviously, hindsight's 2020, but could Hampus have just walked into his smoke and sat there?
Yeah, well, to delay a little bit more.
I mean, like, time is so sensitive. You're not hearing the defuse.
It's one of those things. He doesn't know exactly where Buster is in that moment, right? He doesn't know if Buster's close, if Buster's towards the side, just really trying to delay this for as long as he can, waiting till he gets those sound cues, and then mantling up. So see how risky that is? He is so unlucky not to win that one right there. Almost a huge play from the in-game leader.
Yeah, he hit all of the shots necessary.
And they're back in it. Guns are out again. More aggressive utility down middle. Hampus really trying to charge up and take this round by storm. The flash is good, but Nork's going to find the kill. A good entry for Nork, who's been struggling with this 28 ADR so far.
What are you up to, James? Straight down banana. They can rotate Yakinda to A because they've got an AWPer on logs.
I wonder if Plopsky heard the flames tickling his feet there, because they might know that somebody's close. Be careful about how they pick into this NIP.
Well, Rezi's visible. His little bottom, I think. Jay misses his shot regardless. And that should be his way out.
Oh.
Catches some flags.
He's still hanging around.
They're doing the jump while they're spraying.
He's so confident he's not going to get tagged there. That nade, if he stumbled anymore, but look at Hampus.
Yeah.
That's the gap. He's pipped it. They don't know.
Yakinda has the info?
Does he have the info?
He's looking for him. Okay, Yakinda switched on tonight. Gets very difficult now for the Ninjas. Have to take a gamble somewhere, so there is a gap here. I wonder if Nork's calling the side clear. Yakinda, very precise. Another for him. Make it 3v3. CTR over the smoke goes down. Sanji has the way to deny Plopsky's plan. Needs to force it. Oh, he's assuming it's clear. Buster, the hidden element, can come on out to punish and deny. Bomb does go down, so there is a defuse necessary now, and, well, 3 frags required. Rez doesn't get a single chance. Virtus Pro looking like the better squad here, Chad, I'll say it.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments there, right? But Yakinda bailed them out in a big way. I'm not sure if he caught anybody going into that arch side, but the fact that he plugs up that gap makes sure that the mid to B or the B split is not possible. And then they were turtled up 3 in towards the side as well. So this one right here, we didn't catch exactly how that went down, but that is a massive impact kill to make.
And if anyone is wondering, you know, the power of a single roster change, you know, look at no further than Yakinda's influence over VP. They were always so close. Vanguard were the gatekeepers of Tier 1. Just anyone that wanted to get into top Counter-Strike would have to beat them. Now, they're the ones that want to contend for it, and picking up a capable fragger in Yakinda, who has clearly got the game sense as well. I don't know whether he got the info or if that was just a potential gap he wanted to check himself.
Continues to steam forward here.
Look how many successful retakes they've got since round 19.
Yeah,
Nip have been getting themselves into the site. They've been getting the bomb down, but VP, restraint, admittedly, context is key, and some of those were just bomb planets just as they were losing their final men. But here we go. It's time to see one of the last few chances from NIP to stay competitive here on VP's map pick. 3-man lean early on Banana, and James always up to something. Funny business all over the shop. Gets early info mid. Yakinda, perfect timing on the flames. He catches Rez, forces him forward with his incendiary, and there's more to come as well.
It has to be very careful. He's already down to 18, just a stray bullet through the smoke, and he might be in a lot of trouble. He wants more space. This is absolutely mad.
Well, he evades the nade. I think that's the only way he was going to survive with 18 HP, was moving forward, surging into the smoke. Plopsky shouldn't have issues with Yakinda here.
Okay, that's getting a little bit ridiculous right there. 4v4 now. Mid control taken again.
Wow, that's quite the frag. That's just off comms. He was fully smoked, but they knew the AWP was short. Sanji catches the long presence in Hampus. Kicker on site, full rotation. Knocked off his box. CTR another. Doubles up and bomb down. Buster with it all to do.
And the save.
Yeah. So I want to just quickly recap how that one shaped up.
It was just a bit of a mess right there, right? Because Yakinda gets the opening kill in Banana. He continues forward with aggression. Now, by doing that, he didn't tuck into logs. I think that could have been because he was low, right? He wanted to go for another fight, but he gets out-dueled. At that point, mid control is already being taken, and they're able to swarm onto that bomb site right there. I believe Nork, coming up from that short side, gets a kill into library, right? That's where Sanji goes down because it was a wallbang frag, so probably through the wall just there. Might get a recap of it just here. And ZTR catches a player in transition, right? If you get end of halls very quickly and it's not smoked off, it's one of those places where you can control rotations from. You can actually see over towards Moto, see them rotating into the site from that arch side. It's an important place to be, and if players aren't aware that you're already there, that's exactly what can happen. And then we had that really skew smoke just landing on that ledge. So it all kind of just crumbled apart there for VP, but as they do have a commanding lead, 14-9, not too many woes. The saved AK-47, bolstered by his team still being able to buy. Now, if they lose this one, VP, and don't save any guns, we can start getting a little bit worried. NIP might be able to mount a comeback. At the moment, it feels like it's just a matter of time. So how much more do NIP have to say in map number 1? Flash over the top Banana again. Plopsky leading the charge. This time in Yakinda, well, he still wants to fight. He has 2 more members behind him here in Sanji and Buster. They've actually got top Banana control for once here, NIP, without a casualty. So this is a nice little change for them. But oh, look at this. Aggressive boiler. Jame and Kick It. Side by side. Hear it all, but don't get a kill out of it. They try to isolate them top mid here because that molly's short, the smoke's long.
Doppel in boiler. With an AWP, no less.
They know mid's clear, and they're hearing all of this. Yeah. Look at the rotation back and forth from the CTs. They just said, oh, we're coming, oh, we're not, oh, we're coming.
Hampus is trying to make sure they're cognizant of it.
This is wild, this setup.
They're asking for a lot here. Kicker, you got to have a look at it, don't you? No. So they'll get info long here. What a way to hold A. Hampus has slipped the net. Kicker's just going to have to convey the information. Sandy's going to have to be responsible for it. Timing's great. Hampus is going to have to be paranoid now. Into B, though. Buster and Yakinda to hold.
Oh!
ETR does go down. Rez struggling, does eventually overcome the first, but there's more to come. Yakinda chasing his 23rd frag, and I don't blame Rez for just trying to get that bomb down, make it somewhat winnable. Another frag, this time Jame up Banana.
Look at this, all the CTs around him. Hampus trying to alleviate some pressure, but he can't even find a kill.
That's something from Rez.
Bomb to A? There's not enough time for this.
He's going to give it a good go. 5.
He's going to get in there.
3.
All right, well, the bomb's going to go down. Oh, only just. They're already on site.
Yeah, I want a 1 HP 1v3. Haven't seen it. And we won't.
Oh, I thought he was going to get real scuffed trying to round that corner. The fact that they even found an avenue mid to A, they get the bomb down. They help facilitate another buy. They already had enough money to do so. Plopsky had 5.4. Rez had a bunch as well. So, all in all, it gives them another shot at this NIP, but that's 15 now for VP, and it hasn't felt like they've really had to struggle through this. It's been quite clean in the second half, and they're dropping 2 rounds so far.
I think the round recap is very indicative of that as well. But this was the pivot, caught through the smoke. And VP, yeah, they are a tight-knit squad. You can see as well, in victory and defeat, Kickert, very, very expressive. You can see how much this one means to him. To make a deep run in Katowice can be career-defining.
The thing is, both these teams lost their opening matches, right? So they still have to battle through this lower bracket. He's going to keep their head above water here. Plopsky not getting the better of Banana this time. Buster and Yakinda are going to chime in. They get the opening kill over towards B again. Quite the potent duo, those two, denying that Banana control. And now up mid, NIP have had no problems getting this part of the map. It's just what happens after. Kick it towards Pit. Jame over towards Balcony. And there's Jame striking with the AWP.
Whoa, and then some more. Just 2 more souls left to be collected. Jame straight away finding another. Hampus won't get a chance. And that's 16. Virtus Pro, they take their map and they take it convincingly. All the way from the play-ins and now battling towards the main event. Elimination on the cards. NIP's map up next.
Yeah. They done told me to be myself, so when I went and found myself, the ones who told me back then, be true to who I am, ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying to victories like we in high tides. I'm getting my prize, only thing my eyes is locked in on, have a milli mine. I want it right now, don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring water to my eyes, cause the whole gang winning, I done gave my life. Odds low, but we did it, ain't we? And we always moving, never on the same thing, now our lives are...
If I had to put my main team, I would start with Nico as an intro fragger, because he's just... I remember at E-League Season 1, and I saw Nico playing Deathmatch, and he was just destroying that server. And then obviously we felt the same thing an hour later when our match started against him. So yeah, I would definitely put him out first. I'd have to go with my boy Civics. He's a guy who is extremely good at reading his opponents, obviously, especially in clutches and when you are that anchor position. Yeah, he's by far seen over the history of CSGO, the most valuable player on that position, in my opinion. It's either between Kenny or Fallen, but I would go with Fallen this time, because I think that being an in-game leader, winning 2 majors, and being so consistent with the AWP and being the AWPer, being the in-game leader, having to call with 10 seconds left, I think that's quite impressive. I'm gonna have to choose one of my players as well, and it's Glaive, definitely. I think that Glaive is a phenomenal leader. I think that's a must-have trait, actually, if you want to succeed as an in-game leader, because a lot of the times it's about your players believing in your calls, and Glaive has this magical way of just making his players believe in his calls. There's no question that it's simple. It could be Saiwu in the future, but I still think that if you want to be the star player, like the history of CSGO, you need to prove yourself. So it will have to be simple. He is that X factor who just can always carry his team and always shows up. Has been proving himself on different teams and in different scenarios. So it's simple deserves it. I would definitely go with someone I think that I know, and that is Zeus. He has won 2 majors and has been coaching a bunch of teams and has made them successful, in my opinion. So I think that he has been proving himself time and time again, and he's also a leader and a guy that I think a lot of coaches looks up to. So yeah, definitely put him on the team.
Shadows, I've come to make a name, ready for battle, 'cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not soaring down, I'm never going under.
Kinder and company go successfully into the night here right now on Inferno. They pick up this first map of the series. Kinder dropping 24-13, or excuse me, 24-5 even, with 6 opening duels won. Step in the right direction here for VP in this series. An elimination game, let me remind you, I got Get Right, I've got Kassad. We're going to continue to talk about this game, and then we're going to jump into the next map of the series. For the time being, though, guys, what are we thinking? How do you feel, Kassad?
I feel like this game was controlled by VP ever since they won that eco round at the first half, like mid first half. By that point, NiP was actually playing really good. They lost the pistol, but they got like a string of like gun rounds they won easily. They were stopping B hits, A hits, whatever, and then they ran into that eco round. They lost it. They tried to like kind of change the pace by going with that aggressive push with those smokes down. Somebody in res tried to sneak into what we call Maxi.
Yep.
And he got killed there. After that, VP controlled the half. We enter the second half. They lose the pistol, obviously, and then they tried something interesting that even Chad and Alex caught on when they were casting it. That first gun round, NIP tried to play it with 4 flashes on Inferno. That's simply not possible to do. You need to use at least 2 or 3 to take banana this time, and then you need at least 2 for bracket. And then for the execution, the late part, you need at least a couple of more. They had only 4. It kind of cost them a little bit. This is where they put themselves in a position to be like 7-12. And after that, it was a kind of close, but not really. I think PP was in control the whole game, and they won at the end. They deserved it.
It's true.
Yeah, and I think like in general, just like after that eco round lost, everything just fell like flat. Like in general, like when they tried to do something, NIP, they tried a lot of small details, like detailed nades, they did small tactics, like get VP off guard. They tried to, go aggressive boiler, apps, but it didn't feel like VP was having any struggle. It felt like you saw in the beginning where they had a 3-0 lead, then NIP crawled back into them. That Plopsky and Rez specifically were playing really well. But one thing that stood out for me the most in general was like Knock wasn't performing to the level we expect him to be doing with his op, for example.
He was kind of invisible, was he?
Yeah. Like especially on a map like Inferno, you have to have that op presence.
And then also it's like they're starting CT first. I know he had a lot of rifles, but he also like when he had the op, I think like Sandy actually punished him a lot. Like he couldn't get the easy picks that is needed for the opper to get,
It's definitely that eco round that destabilized them.
Yeah, and you want to talk about destabilization. Well, we don't have, too far to go for these teams. One of them will be knocked out on the outset of this skirmish, of this engagement. I want to talk about round 13, take a look at some of the stuff that we saw here. This ended up over on the A site. And walk me through this one, Chris.
Well, VP is doing something this is really nice of VP to do it. They sadly lost the round in the end, like the overall picture, they lose it. But they take arch control, they take small pit control, they take library, and then even get one of the players off guard before they're gonna sandwich the whole bomb site. So Yakina goes into library, like sneak through the smokes, get a kill. But one thing that stood out the most for me is CTR, where he's like playing around the smokes because he smoked off from the apps and short at the same time and getting 2 kills when they're trying to get into the site and get this sandwich positioning perfect for VP. And then also getting away with a 3rd kill there in apps. which was like really nicely done individual, like for him. But then again, like when you look around how Viper started off with all in A, smoking arch, library at the same time, then small pit, like closer to the side so you can't get punished from big pit. Like, it is a nice strat, and I expected when I looked through in the beginning, I was like, nah, this is not looking bright for, you know, the NIP guys. They're stuck in sight. But Mayorkas will fall for CTR. He's just getting those 3 important kills. Hampus finish off, you know, in that 2v1 situation for the team. So it's nicely played by NIP, but in the end, like, they lost too many players. They got sandwiched into the side, and VP played
it was nicely structured, not like closed out properly, and that's nice move by Kicker, by the way, in the library, yeah.
So what about the nice moves that take us over into Dust 2? Because, wait, that is the right
Overpass.
Overpass, yeah. You know, I was looking at the wrong things. Actually looking at this FaZe OG game because, well, FaZe pick up the first map. Twist has a banger. That's an elimination match. And for FaZe to have picked up the first map 16-7, that sets them up for Dust 2. And again, elimination on the cards.
So hard.
And it is tough. It's like mentally, it's so hard for every team that's playing this game. Like going directly, and both like OG and NIP went like lost big in the first map.
Yeah.
It's not looking bright for a second one if I'm going to be completely honest with both of the teams.
Got a time on Overpass, almost 30 kills for Plopsky in the first half. Can we do it? Can he do it?
Can he do it? That's the big question. Can you do it? Use hashtag IEM. Let us know. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to come back with Overpass, the second map of this series, and potentially elimination for the Ninjas.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Snix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
jump is hard. Yes. Results shows yes, but it's not like decided yet because we have like a lot of work like for the future. Like we didn't have play LANs yet, and I think it will be shown on LAN. But in an onliner, I think yeah, we're pretty good right now.
Intel Extreme Masters Katowice is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, GG Bet, Pay Safeguard, and DHL.
Inferno goes the way of Virtus Pro, which sets us up nicely for the second map. The pick of the Ninjas in Pajamas over on Overpass is going to be the second map of the series, and again, an elimination on the cards, pending the result of this one, because, well, for all intents and purposes, that's what happens when you lose twice. You get eliminated. Speaking of which, I don't have any losers here, but I do have Chad and Alex. Guys, how important is it for Hampus to keep this up?
I thought it was going to be a good freebie for him to like take a jab at us.
No, he was nice to us. We'll take
I'm a nice guy.
Hampus keeping it up. I don't know. Look, if Hampus can keep up those aggressive plays, I'll be impressed. But I'll be even more impressed if Plopsky can do what he did last time, right? That Overpass game, we were talking about it. There were 17 kills difference from Plopsky at the top and the next highest rated on his team. So that's a big difference. That was just the first half.
Yeah. Let's get it on, guys. I'm going to leave it to you in this motion. Sorry, Alex. Didn't mean you cut the off there, bud.
I'm still in Desk Host mode, Trace. Thank you. Much love indeed. We are getting into this one. Let's fly on in. Ninjas in Pajamas, down 1-0. VP converting their map pick and doing so convincingly. Chad's bang on. Don't know if they'll be able to replicate a performance like that from Plopsky. What was his T-side Overpass stats?
26 kills.
26
and
a half?
9 on his team.
Okay, so they didn't break double digits. He nearly broke 30.
It's just absolutely bonkers numbers, right? So if we see that again right here, I will be more than surprised. And I think VP are counting on that. This is a good map for them.
I really enjoy Overpass. I think the mid-rounding, the weird 3v3s at 40 seconds, 30 seconds, pivoting back through connector, the map control, the fact it's so big that you can't have all the answers. You can't just spread out as a 5-man unit and know where everyone, or know you've got everything covered. That's the giant long that you can see now under the remit of James.
He's the only A defender as well, so a bit of pressure now over towards B. Sewer control taken, NIP taking this relatively slow. ZTR with a P250, a smoke and a flash. And oh, Hampus is taking this like a snake.
Yeah, but this is where I think they might park him. Leave him there, tucked in, no info because of your passive hold. And if you want to rotate fast through mid, if you want to get that flank, you have to walk through Hampus.
Your Kinder's not even going to clear this. Watch this, back turned.
Well, on nose is a second because of the flash. But that's, if anything, going to keep them with their feet planted.
Yeah, and the bomb's going A right now. So
yeah, they're boosted. James. They're so late to this. James will have to stick around for retake. The element of surprise, perhaps.
Are they going to hard clear where James is? Because he could be a problem late.
Yeah, I think he's about to be. Plopsky, though, taking down Buster early. Now they can use Bank with that relieved pressure. They don't have to be as concerned about James. Now he's revealed the surprise. Another important duel, and Kickett's wanted out. This is getting a bit more sketchy now. ZTR saves the day. Rez as well. And that now puts Sanji and his kit, smoke, and flash. That's a pretty juicy package deal. I think you might want to keep that one for a second bite of the cherry.
Yeah, maybe hold on to that one, Sanji. Might come in a little bit handy next round. So I'm just going to go off. NIP win the pistol round. And one of the notes that I would like to make about their T-side, and we had the pleasure of casting them with Twist quite a bit last year on this map. We knew it was more one of their favored maps, was when they do take this A bomb site, they're very thorough, right? They will take control of Bank. They will make sure that they're getting full bomb site control before they're getting that down. And it might seem a little bit perplexing when they can plant in front of those dice boxes. But NIP don't want to be getting pushed through the smokes, don't want any unwarranted fights. I'm really going to be curious to see, because NIP, when you win a game and you had a player just go absolutely nuclear, you heard ZTR when he was having that little pre-game interview before talking about the fact that, yeah, look, there was a couple of mistakes we made. He said we don't need Plopsky. I think what he was going with there was he doesn't need to drop almost 40
kills. Can't ask him to do that again.
And they're still confident that they can get the win here. So, oh, okay, that was very quick. The flash is over. The pistols are pushing forward, but 2 kills from the USPs is great. 3 is even better.
Yeah, 3 is getting beyond the pale. Sanji's down. James was long. He hasn't been able to scavenge a weapon. They're being very loud about the rotate.
If they keep on moving.
Okay, they spotted him out, but look at the damage they have managed to inflict. That's 3 players fully invested, now sent back to spawn with 3.3. There will not be AKs across the board. Drop one from Plopsky. I'm sure
there we go.
ZTR can cover it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So they just get there. The utility's good as well, and it's going to need to be, because look at VP. They're buying in early. We can see the AWP in the hands of Jame. No defuse kit. There's an AUG out. Some light utility being bought around that, but this is mainly going to come down to the fights for VP. See how they're opting to defend this one. Just one player, Yakinda, over towards A on his lonesome. Never mind. It's there as well.
Interesting to see the angle James opted for there. What's he actually holding? Okay, just the close walk up. And it couldn't be better. Hampus a slight jiggle, but an AUG bullet in his skull, and a first frag for VP in the buy.
This is very quick pace right here. They've just walked on up, and the fact that they're throwing bodies at it and not utility means the NIP were hoping to find a gap here. That's already been denied, so they might need a retool, and Hampus, the in-game leader's dead. Yakinda, lots to watch there with that cheeky angle. And he spots one long, so more pressure is being relayed over towards A, but once again, this is early, so there's still plenty of time for a rotation back. Quite the hold over towards A, Yakinda and Jane, that's scary.
Kind of quite complimentary of the way that they're doing a passive, yet information is still being held. Jump peeking, Yakinda can clear out toilets to an extent. James is holding another passive line. So that's the first wave of utility. Will there be players behind it? Time to find out. Looks like it. Sanji's on the rotate. And Yakinda converts another.
Oh.
James catching the long player as well. The setup, flawless. Planning in the smoke. That doesn't feel great. That does though. Nork doubles up. Maybe there's a way. Nork and Plopsky, reposition, safe plant. Sanji from bank, if he finds Buster, it's a good angle and he jumps. His scroll wheel could be the death of them. NIP had no right to turn this one around. It was a 2v4. Far from over. Kick it from long. Sanji bank. Oh, and Nork pockets some cash. $300, maybe the round. Plopsky's off angle is visible, and kick it goes down as well. What a win. Nork was silent on Inferno. Good to see him making a loud and proud statement early here for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
That's a fumble right there. They thought they had such an advantage, the VP players on site. They both were glued to that plant going
down. It was such a good setup. I mean, I think I started by talking all about how lovely that A setup was, and it worked so well. It gets 2 kills opening. Catches the long player. Yakinda catches the walk upon the site. This is where it starts going wrong. James thought he could punish the plant. Yakinda tried to fill the gap and trade. Nork hits a great shot as well. And NIP, they are going to get a little bit loud in Stockholm.
That's a good one to win. A very good round, because you can see exactly what that has done. VP just down towards these pistols, and they're going to be kicking themselves. That was a round where they didn't have the greatest of buys, and they've actually just flashed each other just there, VP. Not the game plan that they're looking for.
Okay, so Plopsky's going to go back, is he? He's holding the potential monster push? Because when you put 5 men up, when you're up against potential just P250s charging up monster for info, it can get a bit sketchy, but they have left Plopsky responsible for what will be eventually the underpass as well.
Yeah, they're already going to be at the front of A by the time this rotation comes through. So these footsteps stampeding back up through CT spawn and the tunnels is going to be heard. And that's actually making NIP set up a bit of an execute here. So smokes are going over, Molotovs to follow, and the flashbangs will be there as well. And look at this nade damage early, just landing on the domes of VP. Corralled them quite nicely there. So the stack from VP didn't net them anything whatsoever. The bomb will go down, and Yakinda's in the backline here. How many can he get with this? Is anybody expecting him this close?
Hampus is not ready. Oh, Nork peeks into the crosshair as well. Just shy of the mark. Yakinda, just the 1 deagle frag to show. James, P250, what?
Oh, hello?
It looked like he was constantly moving from Rez's POV, just bangs the head.
I want a bit more here. They can still do damage to this economy because of how close the previous round was. So Yakinda hanging around, James too.
No skin off their teeth, just deagle unarmored. Plopsky does catch him.
This gun might get blown in the direction of James. I'm not sure if it was thrown around in the flurry of all of that. So he might be able to find something here off of Rez's dead body. No, it looks like they actually picked that one up. So tidying their rooms. Good boys, NIP. Making sure nothing can be scavenged there. And ZTR gets a molly kill and a UMP kill, right? This dice box molly's great. One over towards the truck.
Oh, he was flashed as well. He had no idea. Hampus's flash kick it had like 20 HP by the time his vision came back.
A couple of, I think they're NIP fans. I can't really tell. That's a Swede hunter, so I guess that's Swedish hunter.
Yeah, but does that mean he's hunting the Swedes or he's a Swedish hunter?
That's true. We'll have to do a bit of investigation.
It goes both ways. You've got to work that one out. Nork straight through.
Well, I've got confirmation it is NIP fans.
Okay.
So he's a Swedish hunter.
He's a Swedish hunter. Owie, ouch.
CTR has opened up 2 rounds with 2 utility kills and chiming with Hampus. So he's definitely got that combo down.
That's going to hurt.
Yikinda might even get caught off guard here. You can see he was almost in the open there to this long push. He's still smoking off B. This is so quick. Yikinda,
he's
not
right
ready. Here.
He's not ready. Oh, hey. Long, lads. Yo, long is a problem. Nork has opened it up big time. Smokes are down the round as well. VP lost. Hampus even wants a bit of a hunt. I don't blame him.
Yeah, they're not getting out of here.
I think keeping it relatively reserved. Sending the leader out to have a look. He swung the door open. They'll have heard the sound cue. They want to find a safe haven.
Everything happened and they still have full nades, Alex, and they're already being hunted.
Yeah, ZTR is actually going to stop them from this angle. Oh, sound cue. He loves it.
Hi. Just one to find now. Everything's been ripped away from VP.
Yeah, look at all that util. Everything Kickert bought, and they've even found him. Clean kills, sending them back to the Bronze Age.
They did more with less in the first gun round. So he had just taken off guard by the timing. That was really good stuff. Obviously, those grenades to open things up over towards B. When you jiggle peek out like that of Yikinda and there's already 2 players just sitting and waiting, what are you even meant to do? Like, that's a minute 20 left on the clock. They've taken that very, very fast. And this means that VP in future rounds are going to have to play a little bit more aggressively on A, right? They might need 3 players there, just hedging their bets to have 2 players holding that B defense because they are currently being punished across the board. 5-0 scoreline, timeout being taken, and I think this is a good time for it, just to discuss where the holes have been. Where have the real problems gone? Because we're 5-0, right? But only 2 gun rounds have been played. So you have to keep that context here. This is a great start from NIP. Still plenty of time for VP to turn this one around. Sanji can get on the board as well. 3 players with over 100 ADR just there. James has bought into a scout, so we do know that the max loss bonus coming through of 3,400 next round will grant them a bye. Kick it onto a nade. There's some deagles in the mix. Smoke grenade as well, so see if they can make this a bit more competitive. Teams tend to play a little bit differently when they're on these lower buys, or the smaller purchases take a couple more risks.
I mean, dude, their USP round, they got 3 kills.
That's right.
And it involved a long aggression. See if Nork's going to be holding that. I think he is from Playground, so Yikinda won't be getting anything if he does step a toe out of line. You can see the slight diagonal of that long wall does present Yikinda with a slight off angle as they clear.
It will be very frustrating if NIP go and execute B here without pushing forward into toilets and long for territory, because that's what they've done on the gun round. So this bait and switch setup, it needs to get something, whether or not it's action, whether or not it's a kill. It would just be so frustrating to have to rotate back to the other side knowing you're locked out.
Lovely molly for that Guardian spot. Good restraint here.
Yeah.
Nade looks promising, and so does the wallbang. Kickert switched on. He's aware. He's lost Yikinda, and there's good damage. Yeah, James tagged another with the scout. And this is why you have to be so cautious, because this damage can accumulate and can be converted by any single one of them. Good angle again for a frag here. Just in the nick of time. Plopsky waits for the bloom. He's playing it right. Sanji, however, baited in by James to an extent. And that enables him to find and finish off the job. Does need another one. Damage. Poor Plopsky bleeding his way into the site at 4 HP. It should be an easy scout. Frag, okay. Hampus, I think I'll forgive you for that one. It was an important frag to find. He takes the head off of Jane before things can go awry. Kickert's on his flank, but Buster's okay.
That's the high HP player.
And they are tagged, you're right. Hampus and Rez both within that scout and deagle lethality range. Kickert coming in with the element of surprise onto Hampus. Look at the timing, it couldn't be better. Kickert executes one, it gets real tough for Rez, and he goes down. VP, they can do it with a little. The closest rounds we've seen from them, both the USPs, and now it was just scouts and deagles. NIP, they were so cautious. They had so much control, but just whittling away at those health bars.
Yeah, great job. Great job there from VP. And they immediately changed up, knowing that Long and Toilets have been in a position they'd be getting punished. They were further forward, and they didn't get the result they were looking for early. Now this TK really does come back to bite them, right? It sticks out like a sore thumb after the fact, but until that point, it looked like NIP were able to net up this damage. They didn't look too concerned by it, but some great shooting and maybe, you know, not being awares of what was open for the pushes.
Kickett's had such awareness by going towards party side when he came out of underpass, just because he knows if you've gone long, you're not going to do such a deep clear. Really cool. Okay. Competitive, it seems. VP finding their first in our 6th.
Need to win the gun rounds, though, here, VP, and Yakinda forward.
Ah, that's far from ideal.
Yeah, well, the rifles are out, and maybe the rounds will continue in a similar fashion. Just standing and melting. Hampus instantly dead. Did you see how quick that was?
Yeah, was it double? Or a nade and a Molotov?
That was a lot of damage just poured out immediately. And they even tried to extinguish.
Rez didn't check him. A couple of oopsies across the board, couple of boo-boos. DTR walked on into Buster's crosshairs. NIP, despite finding the opening frag, have lost many soldiers on their way towards the sites. So Nork will recover the bomb. We've seen the capabilities of these individuals. Nork definitely does seem to have shaken off his underperformance on Inferno.
Still 2 players on B here, so this is looking good for VP.
$35. So it will be, I imagine, a walk-up monster, which is responsibility of Nork. At what point does Plopsky take contact, though? Kickett's in a very interesting angle. It's unlikely Plopsky will pre-aim this. Oh, he baited it, though. Caught with a pin. Plopsky down to 4. He's just going to have to Scarpa.
He wants this AWP if he can save it, but that might be getting a little bit close to the action, so thinks better of it, gets on out. And that's going to be the second round for VP. So it didn't start great, but they turned it around. And I think Sanji's actually the difference maker here. In 2 rounds, he's been that third man over towards A, right? The first time he gets the kill with a Deagle. This time, you're right, Rez didn't check whatsoever. And that could be because as soon as Yakinda goes down, he's the bathrooms player. You know that James is going to be playing more passively with that AWP, less likely to be in a forward position. Now, Sanji, he filled the gap, filled that space, and found an influential kill. So NIP do have 1 more buy round left in them here before the economy. We have to start asking questions, and they fully invested. Plopsky even bought a Zeus. I think he just threw that one away. So AK's no war. Once again, Molotov straight in towards Playground. Nork only taking a little lick of damage, not too much to write home about. Smokes towards Connector and potentially a different way of putting pressure on this A bomb site.
We've seen that nade off the door and jump sprays, even boosts to hold the angle, but this time NIP completely safe and sound. They smoked the door themselves.
VP are expecting more of a B-side attack here, and you can see that just because this time they're not playing that Thorn in the side of Yakinda forward. James on the site.
So hard to force him off of this angle. Safe from the flash.
They're about to be overwhelmed here. This is quite quick again. Silence, and there's a minute.
Yeah, he's got no info. Nothing to report yet from James. Yakinda the same. This 3-man B lean, they might want to start pushing for info now, but all too little, too late. James puts it between the wickets, costs him his life. Plopsky burns him down. Good Molotovs, good utility. This is the execute. VP in a lot of trouble. I like the fact that Yakinda's playing for the retake here. In toilets, he can catch Rez. It's all about the element of surprise here. There is a lot of backs turned. Nork, though, gets info and the frag, a big frag to convert.
He gets coming from T-Spawn right now. I feel like they should be, saving this. That was so far away on that rotation. You know how you were talking before about Astralis, and if you play the standard game of Counter-Strike that they're going to beat you? Well, some of the things here that NIP are doing that are a little bit different from what you would traditionally see with A bathroom control, they're not always throwing that front bathroom smoke. And on this round where they just creeped up through connector, right, they hadn't had that normal utility. There was the Molotov towards divider wasn't there. The smoke towards the front bathroom
none of the cues.
Exactly. The flashes over towards long. You know, they didn't have those same tells. They just walked up knowing that VP might be able to isolate one fight, which they have done onto Yakinda, and if they don't fight any resistance, they can just walk on and execute like that.
Yeah, and a great point that Kassad brought up actually just in the chat. he highlighted that when they frag James, for example, that double nade round, that's when they know that they can take some liberties on long, take some liberties on toilets, because that's James' responsibility.
Yeah.
And so it's something that they are keeping their finger on. They know that James is a very oh, wow.
Getting the text going.
Yeah. Go Ninjas.
I think we'll get there by next time. So he's going to keep cracking away at that, and we'll keep cracking away at this. Still, NIP making a case for the third map here.
Those stack nades we were just talking about. Catching Sanji's jump peak down to 41. He lives to tell the tale, though. He'll regale us with his stories of that time I caught the double nade. Oh, the boost! And it doesn't convert Yakinda. Quick reactions. That was entirely mechanics.
Well, ZTM might clear this. This is a hard angle.
Buster, very nice conversion onto short. It's not the first time he's held that comfortably. Hampus and Nork already so early into the piece with 70 seconds on the clock and already completely isolated. Nork is on his own little island, looking for the elusive James.
They have so much time to work with, it feels like, NIP. I don't ever feel stressed on the clock with them.
It's true. Even that last take onto A, they had, what, 45 seconds?
Yeah, and the fact that they're getting away with all this room, they've really done their prep work here. Jumping side, well, jumping bank. So might not get the look into the head that Nork wants to find just here.
You can see why that's a favorable jump peak as opposed to the one behind dice boxes, where I swear I see so many orcs find the way in. James has found the way out, though, and there is no issues here.
Shooting. 6-3 now, so VP, they have to do this the hard way, right? They've almost broken the money of NIP here. You can see that they're operating with 4.9 on the high end for Plopsky, and at the low end, we're dealing with about 3.1 on ZTR. So this is a half-buy territory, or they can all in with the AK-47s and have Galils, UMPs, MAC-10s, those type of weapons supplementing it. But there was some good shots to kick this off. And you can see why NIP really are going for this style of play, because it's clear they can isolate fights, right? It doesn't feel like all the time that VP are playing off each other. It feels like there's a chance to isolate at least a 1v1 or 1v3 duel over towards these A bomb sites. So a little bit quicker this time.
He's doing something different every round. James going underpass. It's always a risky maneuver as an AWP because you can't get out. If Yakinda goes down, James going to have left his A site wide open. Yakinda knows survival is integral here. James will have a very prime opportunity to at least find one. Cautious of the trade, can tuck in, but the threat of him likely to slow.
Smart by James. He can escape now through B because they have sewer control. He can dip all the way back through the B site, rotate back up to A and get there in time. But the snake that is NIP is making their way, slithering through the bathrooms now. Those sound cues not there again.
There's something. Bit of nade damage and a bullet fired. So looks like VP have completely stacked the site. Whoa, he's walking into the lion's den here. Hampus hunts Yakinda. The flash does enable him to at least find one. Jumping ZTR. If he gets kick it, not quite. No trade. Tucked in on Optimus. Flames will force him forward. A good shot from James. Poor Nork. Disconnected now. From behind his Buster. Needs a precise tap. He's got no health and no hope. There it is. A fourth for VP, and we are getting competitive. They pick up 4 of the last 5 rounds of play, and NIP's lead is disintegrating before our very eyes.
Yeah, and even with that extra money coming through, because there was no plan, NIP will not be able to buy in this one. So to just be down to the pistols, finally they're humbled. Get 2,500 going into their bank balance for next round. And yeah, you're right. So James gets that opening kill. They have the stack on the site, so they've heavy rotated, knowing that he was unable to help out Yakinda on the site. And then it looked a little bit labored from Buster there, but eventually finds the frag. Nork goes down. And a Tech 9 for Nork this time round. As we're back underway again, straight through the Molotov. Damage done to all 5 members of NIP as they quickly want to gallivant up long and see if they can find this gap. And while there is a huge gap right here, right now, nobody from VP is watching it. James about to get back around the corner, and just in time.
Bang! And the dirt is gone. Barry Scott here. Not going to get the next. Maybe there's a multi-kill for someone else. It's going to be Sanji who pads the stats nicely. Needed that. 10 grand in the bank for him as well. He has not been going too heavy on the investment. That's going to help VP for the longevity of these closing rounds of our first half. Second map. First game of the day.
I'm just saying, now we haven't seen NIP really try to get stuck into B too early, right? It's always been through these A plays. So right now, if you're expecting VP to continue with these more 3-man heavy A lanes, B might be on the agenda. Well, it looks like VP might be one step ahead. They're actually playing Yakinda right now. Aggressive Molotov again. Same as you like. And
have we seen a single fast round out of like the Ninjas boys? We haven't seen like a B
Not like
pressure.
a straight B rush.
Now Yakinda's off angle has been found. Rez punishes. Didn't have to pay too much of a price for that either. So happy stuff. Sanji, a light tagging from Hampus, confirms there's at least one water.
As soon as NIP are operating with this one-man advantage, I always feel like they're going to close these type of rounds. They stay together. Nobody seems to give up a silly death. They understand the space that they can punish. Look, Yakinda's dead. There either has to be a gap long or bathrooms. And right now, the long gap is being punished. You can see Rez, a lot of noise, a lot of space. He's doing this all on his lonesome right here. And they're really dealing with these
That wasn't
VP
audible
rotations.
to James, was it?
Don't think it would have been
just
close
far enough.
So look at this. James still has his back completely turned to this position. They know it's a gap, but VP are more than happy to give it up. And that could be their undoing.
It certainly could. Hampus continues to keep them on notice at B. Now, Rez is going to have to work pretty damn hard if he wanted to find James. Oh, the punish! What a spray! Kick it. He's found one, tagged up another. Rez is in bank, but they might assume toilets is clear. This is an important frag from James. He knows they're coming back his way. Rez is the unknown entity. James got some decisions to make. He hears them charging. He won't be able to contest. That's the bomb on Plopsky's back. Okay, this is going to be weird. One tapped. Kicket's gone. But James, the unknown entity, if they plant Bank's side, they planted Optimus, he won't be able to stop it. And he's lost all of his teammates along the way, so regardless, that works out lovely from the Ninjas.
NIP have really done their homework on VP because it just feels like time and time again over towards A, there's always a gap, and they always find the gap. And even when they found themselves in number disadvantage situations like that 2-on-5, I think it was when Nork was alive with the AWP, they're even aware of the lines that they like to hold. They're jumping over them, they're being very cautious. So you can see why this is a home map for the Swedes, and here's Rez. Just, yeah, Kickit has no idea. When that happens, you just have to be very frustrated. They know that a bomb site was given up, but the timing from when James called, it's more likely than not, to when he's actually there, it's way quicker than what Kickit would have been expecting.
Yeah, these guys are not robots. You're not going to have that calculation down. It looks like they're going for a little bit of a late boost. Okay, so Sanji just wants the info. They could wall bang it.
It's double ops as well, so they've opted for a bit of a change up here, VP. I think they feel like they're getting walked in on too much. They want to try and take the fight to NIP, and Buster's actually going to peer. He's been spotted on that jump. Has to be careful now.
These next few rounds are going to be so instrumental as to whether or not we're going to see a third map here.
Yeah, money on for both teams could be broken at any point. Just more slow stuff. So this time, A, again, bathrooms long, basically just given up off the get-go, just leaving Jame on the site. Bomb's being picked up now for Plopsky, and okay, well, this gives us an indication. It looks like they do want to finish B. But if they can put any pressure on Jame, they might hyper-rotate.
How are you supposed to put pressure on an AWPer when he's so far away? Rez is in toilets. The rest looking for the fight. Nork found. Nice work from Buster. He stands his ground on short. Monster is Kickets. Another coming in from underpass. Rez all too familiar with what he may be peeking into. Oh, this flash as the smoke fades. They double peek it. Actually re-smoking. Trying to catch them on the timing. Oh, it's glorious! A massacre from VP. Buster and Kickets saying, yeah, maybe you should go back to A.
Oh, he's going back to spawn. He's going to try and save this one old Ampus, isn't he? That was a really good setup right there, and everybody from VP stays alive. So
dude, but like the logical, like it's smart. As one smoke is fading, he pop flashes as they deploy a second smoke, which if you're an NIP player, you're going to press W.
Yeah.
You're going to press W straight into a bloody flashbang. Look at this. You look like a plum.
It's good stuff here, and I think that AWP helped facilitate it, right? Because they didn't have to play so passive.
So blind.
Had a little bit of extra info, and yeah, that was perfectly timed. Similar to how in the first map, NIP were doing a good job of holding on to some of their CT-sided utility. That was really good from VP. And now the Ninjas...
We talked about the break.
Yeah. Oh, this time out that they're taking, they already have 7. So you're happy with this, right? You've got a smile from ear to ear. You've done better than what you did last time, and Plopsky hasn't need to drop 26 kills. So.
It's a whole lot more convincing than Inferno as well.
Yeah, precisely. So at this stage, if they can get 1 round, they're going to be really happy with that. 1 more, win the half, get yourself that 8. 7 is already very, very good. But they'll have to go up against the double AWPs yet again. I wonder what's been talked through in this timeout. It could be that pace change, because you're right, we haven't really seen them just go all out, really fast-paced Counter-Strike. Could even be saving that for the final round of play, just with the scrappy pistols. Been able to punish these gaps. So we've seen this a lot now. Molly, they smoke it out, extinguish, they aggress forward, they take space early, they don't throw too many of these smokes and mollies, and this time they might even be running into Sanji.
Yeah, is he going to hit the shot? He actually does, into the shoulder blade.
Notice how they move the secondary AWP around? Buster just had it, he's given it to Sanji for A. Now Buster's onto an AK, so they're keeping this very, very hard to read. And if they know one AWP was long, they won't expect another AWP here.
Certainly not. And another tag. 2 members of NIP have had their wings clipped. James down to 18 after that attempt to trade. Okay, so with just a 1-man B hold, they're in the right place. And James flushes another. Sanji's AWP is there as well. Can't help but feel that they're running into a bit of a trap. Yukinda reaggressing now. Keep mixing it up, trying to bait him in as well. Very powerful angle. You have to knock him off that one. Rez with utility from long to hopefully draw attention away from these toilet players. A gap in the smoke.
Another
More tags. Yukinda's the one to finish off the job. Clean as can be. Not a single member of VP down. They'll keep all of their goodies, and by goodies, I mean 2 AWPs and 3 AKs, Chad.
Yeah, and for Rez, there's another question. Do I go for this and try and take what I can? Or do I try and win? Like, we only have 1 round left after this, or do I save it? He doesn't even get a chance. Sanji takes him out. So that was a very good round, and I wonder if Sanji throws that AWP back across to Buster now, if they change it back up like that, because that was a cool little detail right there that I only caught at the last minute, and opened them up to push a little bit quicker into those toilets. Once they spotted the AWP on long, you saw how they wanted to get stuck in a little bit quicker. They walk into the AWP of Jame. When Jame got that first kill, he also tagged Nork through the wall. All right, well, it's just the Deagles, Alex. So if we're going to see something fast, this could be the round from NIP. It's not the Tech-9s and P250s, but continuing with more of the same. So it feels like VP have finally got a good read on how to deal with this, but NIP got their lion's share of rounds through similar plays to this, so you can't fault them for going for it. They've gone for that connector smoke again.
I mean, yeah, this half would have looked significantly more convincing for the Ninjas if VP hadn't found that Deagle conversion.
That's true. Another one of those. And again, they've just parked themselves quickly up towards A. So 3 towards long, clearing out the top level of the bathrooms. Now they're going to saunter their way down to regroup with Hampus and ZTR, who are coming through connector. They have nades for this, so they can smoke off the site. That's a smoke towards long, a flash as well. And they're going to try and get up close and personal behind this. Now let's take a look. How do VP respond? Jame isolated in the site right now. Smoke goes out of his zone. He has a rotator very close in Yukinda, but they're not sold on this one just yet, VP. Definitely an A finish.
Yep, double pump. 1 spotted, likely a rotate to be forced here. It's all about the execution now. The Ninjas start to flood in.
They're giving them the site. They're choosing to play retake right here, VP.
Is it just 2 Molotovs to hold them at bay for the after plant? Maybe that could actually give NIP a chance here to get a Deagle round of their own.
They jump down spawn. 2 of them are in.
ZTR sneaking on behind enemy lines now. James so switched on, he actually might find this. CTR, yeah, Rez can't trade. I think he may have been spotted. Caught by Buster. Perfection from VP. Rare to see teams so willingly let play for the retake and do so cleanly. Kickett's always the late arrival. He likes to go monster through bloody T-spawn. But there it is. Virtus Pro will take the slightest of leads on the half here in NIP's pick. Swapping back in 2.
Hey Future Pros,
During ESL Pro League Season 12, I saw Team Spirit show off a nifty aggressive one-way on Mirage. Normally, I would never show you aspiring future pros a one-way, but this one's pretty cool and requires some teamwork. To do this one-way, you'll need 2 future pros. Future pro number 1, you will be throwing the short smoke. To do this, get into this corner. Aim in the middle of the gap below the far right window and above the close wall. Run forward and jump throw your smoke just as you get past the middle of this section. If thrown correctly, it should land perfectly for your teammate. Future pro number 2, you get to have all the fun. It's also very important that you have a semi-decent mid-spawn to do this. Head into the window room as fast as you can. I hope you've been playing KZ because you will need to make the short jump, so make sure you practice. If you nailed the jump and your teammate landed their smoke, then you will have a pretty cool one-way to play around and over. And as always, good luck and have fun.
Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door.
It's Virtus Pro versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. IEM Katowice continues, and Virtus Pro 1-0 up, 1 round up on the half. A machine, I've got Chad Birchall with me, and we are looking to see exactly how things shape up in the lower bracket. Chad, by no means is the battle to the playoffs over for the team that wins this series. It looks like it's going to be a very bumpy road, taking a look at that Group B upper bracket.
Yeah, they have to play 2 more games, even if they win this one. They have to beat the loser of Liquid versus... who are they playing? Vitality.
Yeah.
Bloody Nora. That's going to be a rough game for whoever wins this one. So, let's see if this one has many more legs to it. The odds from GG.bet are clearly favoring Virtus Pro, and Rez gets a bit of early info here. There's all 5 members congregated very closely around that connector and playground position. And early info here, so if they swing open the door, NIP are going to see nobody's home. Rez behind the tree, this is rough.
Yeah, he's going to have so many targets, just way too many. He'll get overwhelmed. Did do some damage, but it's trivial in the grand scheme.
Plopsky's already in connector. Kickit's still dealing with rotations. They're pestering long. There's no intent right now from VP with a lot of time left on the clock. Look at this.
Decision-making from Hampus is actually pretty spicy. He'll join Plopsky. They know Kickit is often super late behind the pack, but I mean, look how ridiculous he is. Ha-ha! He's got you again. Kickit strikes. Plopsky was trying to be aware. Now Hampus is vulnerable. The element of surprise is there. Oh, Kickit! He has had so much impact across both of these pistol rounds.
Look at this. They're taking them all the way back.
Yeah, ZTR has got the awareness to try and deal with that, but...
Bring around a Rosie.
You can hear it all.
Where are they going? I don't know anymore. They just went all the way back, and now they're going all the way back to A.
Okay. Oh, man, Kickit, you are mean. Nork doesn't have the bullets. But that's 2 T-pistols in 2 maps where Kickit's got 3, if not 4 frags. He's on for his 3rd now. ZTR's the only one that can be added to the list. In fact, Kickit's dead, so I'll just cancel that dialogue right now.
No, the impact's still there.
Yeah.
Hang on with what you were saying. The problem right now is ZTR has the kid, and if nobody's keeping their eyes on the bomb, never mind. He's going to play a little bit more forward. Now he's going to tap it. He's going to sit it. They have to clear. Okay. We didn't really get to see a lot because he decided to look at the ground. But if you're curious as to why he did that, trying to keep his hitbox as hidden as possible, I suppose, even though he's in plain sight. Turtle down, crouch, look at the ground, tuck your head in, hope for the best.
I remember when it used to be a bloody nightmare trying to kill people on the bomb. The weird hitbox bug we had for a while.
People love doing that spin around thing as well. I think that's been there's a rule to do with how much you can spin around on that now.
Oh, is there?
I'm not
like you're not allowed to have a bloody DPI switch and just wiggle as at 8,000 DPI.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. I remember reading something. I might maybe get League Apps, get Mihao on the phone here to talk that one through. But Nork, you're in trouble, mate. That flash.
He's tucked in enough. Scouts, Desert Eagles, CZs for NIP's defensive round 17.
Rez is pushing long. He might get a timing here if he's quick. Buster is just backing off now.
Very hard shot to hit. Buster, keep him on notice. ZTR's got a lot to do in with the MP5 Chaos, but it's Chaos they seem to thrive within. Yakinda just the one though. Plopsky darts away. Gonna play retake from short with Hampus. Bombs in, but you know, Chad, we talked about this. VP are not in a rush to plant once they get control.
Yeah, they're very thorough about this. So as they take their time, they wait for these smokes to clear. That means the pistols can't be such a nuisance. And it even gives Buster a time to come down connector here and just clear out the flank. Doesn't need to swing open the door.
With 4 players left as well. As soon as he opens that door, you'd think Hampus is in a prime position to punish.
Look at the brakes that the VP have just put on here. Flash is over now.
Oh, look at that. Sanji's flash completely denies the potential of Hampus crossfire. Nork would have to really pop off on this scout. And he has got the element of surprise. He doesn't find the lethal shot. That could have changed everything. That's James tagged, but not body bagged. Sanji's on site as well. Nork trying to pepper through the box. Kicket's healthy as well. Nork under scrutiny.
Yeah, this one should be NIP saving. We were speaking about the one Inferno saving these pistols. They want to hang around and see if they can get a kill or not, but you can just see how tight VP are playing.
They're playing great Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and Plopsky's stuck. He can't get out. Buster has him tagged in. Rez, he's trying to pepper whatever he can. The other two are thinking of heading off now. Plopsky trying to make himself an escape route. But you're right, they are playing very good CS, but that's why it's also not explosive and brawly and crazy hyper exciting right now, is because VP, the way that they're playing these scenarios is to mitigate as many risks as possible, and that's what Counter-Strike is about. You know, you don't take these risks, you don't make mistakes.
It's just being aware of what, you know, all of the potential mistakes that can be made, like losing 2 players to the bomb.
Yeah, that is not ideal in the end of things.
How appropriate.
But just for that kind of a round, you see how they take the side. Alex, we're going to put this in WoW terms. So they pulled the aggro.
Yeah.
They pulled the aggro by taking the B bomb site, and then what they're doing is they're using...
It was not far off. Look at that, it's his neck. He actually took a step up the ramp just as he might have flicked on up to that head. So yeah, that's a nasty tag. Could have been enough to start causing a bit more chaos if you lose a player.
Taco here, Hey Machine.
Taco here?
I think there's a guy who looks a bit like Taco.
Okay, so he wears a beanie and he has glasses.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, man.
It could actually be Taco, I don't know. Yakinda's found ZTR, so this is just this low buy right here. Is look, this game feels like it's quickly slipping away from NIP, and we're saying that without seeing a gun round just yet. So let's, maybe I need to bite my tongue for a second. It's just VP feels so commanding, even though they did lose a couple of extra players in that bomb explosion. They're just up against these pistols. They've already found the opening. They're taking their time. They're not going to rush any of these moments. They'll have all 5 members over towards the B bomb site, ready and raring to go. Utility is on point. Molly towards the barrel, smoke towards the site. The flashes are good. The scouts smoked off. And guess what? They're going to take side control and probably pause again.
That's really simple. I actually really like you smoke short and send all your troops through monster. Because then if you're a CT and you're playing sandbags or you're... Ooh. Hampus gives himself a Galil. They'll flash over, but that smoke gets re-smoked now, and they haven't had access to short this entire round.
Yeah, that's amazing how many resources. This is another thing. They're just kind of flipping the puzzle of Counter-Strike, right? Yeah. You take this, well, we'll take this. They're happy to make the trade-off.
But like, your options are so limited. Like, unless you're actually planning to contest monster of 4 AKs charging at you, which is not an easy feat, then you just have to respect that short smoke or try and lurk within it. But I would bet that they're probably one of those flight paths, if not 2 of them, are spraying that smoke.
Yeah, someone will be definitely keeping an eye on it, just like they need to be keeping a bit of an eye on Nork here, who does tag the bomb.
He wants someone to have a look.
It's mopped up. So bomb will go off. 12th round now for VP. And this is where we can see if there's really anything on the line for NIP. We're going to get into the gun rounds. I think they're the 11th round, not the 12th. Let me correct myself. You can see the frags on the site there, getting absolutely swarmed from all different angles. Fantastic stuff from VP just to deal with anybody close. And let's take a look, because Nork and Rez are heading over towards A. Rez has an M4, Nork onto the AWP. No defuse kits in play. Head armor has been prioritized.
Opted not to Molotov the playground cross. James does get across. Nork a bit late on the reactions there. Dare I say it, a standard start.
Yeah, and there's no early intent, and you can tell that by the bomb being down so passively, right? So they're just going out with the default spread, seeing what information that they can collect here before making any decisions. We're seeing long given up as a gap right now for NIP, with Rez and Nork both tucked in towards those bathroom positions, waiting for anybody coming quite quick. B has a three-pronged defense with Hampus in swing. He's in heaven right now. And you can see this passive setup and what it wants to achieve.
Ooh.
There is a timing on long, right? At some point, Nork and Rez need to be aware that gaps that they were punishing in their first half can also be taken away from them. So I'm sure we'll see Hampus rotate back and pick that up late. But not too much room has been made, as Plopsky's being kept busy here by Kickit. More spam through the smoke. Sanji in connector. They're really just parking the bus right now, VP. I think a lot of utility too.
Yeah, Hampus's reaction off of Kickit being spotted. Monster is actually to rotate into A to support. Rez wants some information, but this could come at such a price. He's threaded the needle. I wonder if Yakinda's expecting this. Oh, none of them are. And the door's open. He can get 3 kills on short here if he doesn't rush it. He decides to go for the first, and he converts the second. Not quite the third, but damage is inflicted.
There's a gap back to A if Buster goes now.
There is. Hampus rotated into B. Nork will try and fill the gap, but Buster's got space. Oh, we know how powerful this can be, Chad. We saw it from the Ninjas, now from VP. Smoked it off. Nork maybe going to try and linger through it, but they're already punching in the digits. Couple of seconds to spare. Can't contest. Hampus aware of the Kickit presence in toilets now. 3 gathered bank. They re-smoke it. And despite the man advantage, I can't help but feel that this leans VP's way. This is a tough round to retake, tough round to get back into. Conversation for the Ninjas now.
We're halfway ticked and there's no kit.
Kickit finds it, and another. They're running out of resources here. They're losing every single member of the Ninjas squad. It's just Plopsky. He's more interested in self-preservation at this point. He will find a safe haven in Bank, but Virtus Pro, these are the mid-round calls we were talking about. You know, one of the reasons I started this broadcast talking about how much fun Overpass can be. That was great. That was exactly what I'm talking about. Virtus Pro, they worked their way through overcoming that double kill from a fast flank on their B take.
And this is the thing, right? Buster needs to be operating with that in the back of his mind. What I mentioned is easy for me. I can see all the pieces on the board. Buster, for him to go, oh, Rez has pushed connector, killed 2 of my teammates. The only way is for us to go into A. If I make the space right now, we can win. For him to have that just happen so quickly, this is split-second decisions. This team is operating super late round. So the fact that they get away with that right there is such a massive round, because you're looking at it with Rez coming on the flank, multi-kills. That's a dream.
And Nork, don't forget, like he was there in time. The only reason that that bomb went down uncontested was because of Buster taking that space with his initiative and dropping that smoke.
And now they can really punish, right? Because the economy is in tatters for NIP at this point. Sure, they got the AWP. They can give that back to Nork, but their buy isn't going to be great. They're going to be operating with very little on some of their players. SMGs, one's been bought for Plopsky at this stage already. And they need to talk through how they want to operate here, because if VP win this, they don't save any guns. Max loss bonus coming through. CT side economy is a cruel mistress. Everything is stacking up against the Ninjas right now. They need to put a stop to this. They're limping in with half buys, right? Plopsky's purchased down to 1,700. Hampus there with 1,600. Rez yet to buy a pistol. See what he wants to operate with right here. So this is a half buy to back up the AWP. This can be threatening. This can be potent. We've seen what VP have done with Deagle so far in this game. But NIP really need to find some impact here, because you can't be starting a round like that and then being found a massive gap. Okay, so there won't be a kit again, and we're not expecting this round to be as scary as the last. This is just them trying to back up the AWP and give Nork more than a chance. And this is a great map for an AWPer to find some impact, especially on the CT side. If he's got any flare, we need to see it now.
He's right to peek it. What on earth was that? Wasn't ready. They're hugging the close wall, just enough of an off angle, and only one from ZTR's Deeg. This all hinged on Nork's AWP, and he's been caught with his pants around his ankles, jumping in panic. Good flash. Should be the frag, but the support there. That's nice work from VP. You can see the suppressing fire, reactive stuff from Kickit. As soon as Sanji's screen goes white, Kickit unloads his mag.
Just insane to me that the game of Counter-Strike can be played in this way, where they just freeze. They don't have any presence over towards A. Buster is watching the flank. They're letting the mistakes come to them. And knowing they're up against this low buy, it's the right call. The AWP is already in no man's land. And as long as they can keep eyes on it here, VP, that's the biggest threat denied. They're going to walk closer to it to deny Plopsky with that MP9.
No flashes. No hope. It's Plopsky needing a multi-kill. He does swing out for one. Finishes what Hampus' Deagle started, but it's VP that want to finish what they started on Inferno. NIP's pick, and 13 is one frag away.
There he is now, only a matter of time until Rez goes down here, trying to just take whatever he can. And there it is, Jane will finish off the final frag, should be able to pick up that AWP, so that's a freebie right there as well. And it's just getting better and better for VP. Augs appear to be the answer. You can see two purchased on in there, so that's 3 scopes on the CT side. They will get a full buy with the max loss bonus. And that AWP, yeah, it must have been a mouse wheel hit as Nork has jumped out there, because that looks so awkward. They were clearly trying to set him up for
far from intentional.
Trying to set him up for success, and as one of the star players of the team, especially the AWPer, you're going to feel frustrated about that one. Rez has actually brought out the second AWP here as well. Double A AWP setup. I've seen this team get exploited with gaps with the double AWP setups before. Rez is much more aggressive, really searching for a kill here, knowing they need to get something, get this round moving, get themselves a round, get themselves anything.
Gets late arrivals. I don't know why I haven't been addressing them so much, or they haven't been so apparent to me before, but he is always just the tail end of this polar bear.
Well, they're already in A. They just walk straight up bathrooms and executed. What are you going to do, NIP? Like, what are you going to do? They've walked in with all their utility. Now bucket loads are getting thrown on the site. Honestly, you want to retake this, even where Rez is? They should save.
Yeah.
That sounds insane, but what are you meant to do?
They've got every nade they could desire, and they just keep flashing, smoking.
What? This is ridiculous.
And you talked about gaps, Chad. You talked about exploiting those gaps. They just walked toilets and planted in about 30 seconds off the break.
And against 2 AWPs, a setup designed to stop that. Rez, you get a kill, sure, but the bomb is already over halfway tick. That is 14.
Please.
They didn't even have to do anything. They just had to walk past you.
Is that based off of a read?
That's based off of having a player like Yakinder in your team who you say, hey, big man, go first, just walk, kill, we'll trade you. Yeah. He has so much confidence in the fact that his teammates will trade him. His teammates have so much confidence in he'll get that opening kill.
And by the time you're out toilets, you're like, lads, I think we've done it.
It's like we're running onto the site. Rez was so far forward at long, he couldn't hear any footsteps. Nork was already caught in rotation.
Oh.
It was a gift.
Yeah, let's see how this one shapes up. So the bomb's being planted at 1:09. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. That's how fast they managed to get themselves all the way into A. Look how far. I mean, it couldn't be further from T-spawn.
If you're playing fast rounds of Counter-Strike and that's what they look like, that is that's the type of fast rounds I want to play.
It's a dream for Virtus Pro, and on the T side, no less.
Okay, well, they saved everything, so let's take a look. We'll pretend that last round didn't happen.
Yeah, Yakinder wants to do it by force. A change up of the pace already draws blood. They're boosting. Oh, Hampus surely booked. I'm assuming it's Hampus. It's actually Plopsky this time on the barrels.
Oh, he spotted the noggin, so I'll drop down. Well, they've gone 1 for 1, and this actually favors VP because the CTs need to play for aggression again. Spam through the smoke, tagged on down, 14 HP.
Perfect, of course.
Doesn't Oh, what a nightmare for NIP. They picked this again after what happened the other day. Plopsky going absolutely nuclear for them.
And he said it was a 16-13 as well.
It was a close
game. With a Plopsky 30.
It was almost a Plopsky 40. It's 37 kills, man.
Yeah, you're right. I'm actually not doing it justice to say give it a 30. Okay. All right. Ninjas in pajamas. Developing. VP punishing, though. Kickit still sticks around long enough to catch Plopsky. Rotating when against VP when Kickit's still alive.
The timing!
He pulls away in time. So 3 through the toilets. Hampus and Nork are in sight. So this is actually just going to come down to individual duels and utility usage. 20 seconds. Molly's great to buy time. Tags up Jame. CTR with 14 HP is going to try his best to get back to the site. Hampus is gone. What a pre-fire. They know where he is. He's flashed, he's sprayed, and had plenty of time for the plant. They like to cut it fine. First round, Chad, the previous round, we just saw them plant at 1:09. Now they planted at 7. Like, it's just the contrast. They can mix it up. They can chop and change the pace. NIP missing, absent without leave. They're on the back of the milk cartons. Gone.
I want to get some heart rate monitors on these teams who play late round Counter-Strike like this, because I want to see, as we're ticking down from 10 seconds, how they're holding their nerve. Because as I'm watching this, I'm panicking, right? These teams are so slow. This is just insane. That leaves no margin for error, right? The way that they're playing this, if Buster goes down while planning with 7 seconds left, there's no trade potential, that's the round. We can see the way this looks. They don't get the same opportunity of knowing where these players are isolated, and they're still playing so late.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Good job on the replays as well. Rez is holding long, and Yakinda fancies his chances. There's a trade coming. A missed shot. Surely he doesn't get away with this. They're re-peeking. Rez does get flashed off. He'll desperately plead for one, but he doesn't get anything. Nothing to show for his adventure on long, and now VP 4 frags away from a 2-0. A convincing execution and elimination of the Ninjas in pajamas here.
Cream cracker, they are absolutely destroyed right here. Absolute destruction.
Oh my God, I get it. It's rhyming slang. When you know, back in the day, I'm creamed. Cream, crackered, knackered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway, we do see 4 players remaining for NIP. They're going to be doing their very best. We do see the smokes arriving. We know how good that short smoke is, but you can play in front of it. And Nork needed a multi. Maybe Plopsky's spray is the one to deliver it. It's close. It's competitive, but Sanji was ready for the flank. They're always ready for the flank. Buster elevated over the smoke, and that's enough. Virtus Pro, baby. They'll be playing the loser of Vitality Liquid. And that's a big win. Virtus Pro from the play-ins to the lower bracket round 2.
Close to me, going.
Good luck, man. I'm completely segregated. Kablamo! Ho, the breach! Holy moly!
Hey guys, how to breach.
Today we're gonna show you some. Never mind. Another? I'm behind him. He's like on the coast down here. Oh, 2.
Still not close enough to help you.
Okay, I'm nuts. Go through this though. You going for? There's deep people and close.
I'll go for the deep people then.
Okay, I'll go for the close. I've whiffed. He has no idea. Oh! No! Just spiral back around. Oh, I see 2.
Nice. Did you get the gun or not?
Yeah, I got one. I just see that one now.
This guy.
Nice.
I'll go for a gun. 2.
Okay, 2 spotted. They're both like there on that ping.
Nice.
Easy.
But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the
Well, the results are in, and it's Virtus Pro that stay alive at the end of the day, knocking out the Ninjas in pajamas yet again. Nip falls short in Katowice, and that's okay. They do get the chance to come back regrouped and stronger, putting the Swedish scene back on the map, but that's just not going to be the case for this iteration of the Intel Extreme Masters. Welcome back, everybody. We got a couple more matches for you today. Well, we put a pretty bow and a ribbon on this one with Nip falling out. VP stay alive. They get the push forward, and I'm looking at Get Right and Kassad. And right now in this moment, I'm thinking for Get Right because, you know, for Nip within the Intel Extreme Masters, there's been some trophy lists, and this is not going to be one of them.
No, what is it? 2 years in a row losing the grand finals. It's not a good start, you know, on the Katowice train basically, and then been slipping out more and more through the years. This was a poorly showing from NIP, if you ask me. Like, especially since like the first time they played, surely it helped a lot when they had Plopsy like going ham like against VP last time, and they played super well on Dust 2. I don't know what happened today, but I felt like I was like a little bit disappointed on Knock in the first map. I felt like he was kind of not there on that map. So like in the beginning, I was like, oh, cool, he's back. You know, it feels like, you know, he's getting up his groove. And then he just fell off again. Like, I don't know, it just like, that was not a good second half.
Not ideal.
It felt for me that VP had full control of the second half. You know, NIP started off nicely. They had a decent start in the T half. It looked like VP got just as many rounds as they needed to go into that second half and dominate, and I guess qualify for the next round.
Yeah, and staying alive. That's exactly what we're doing. I believe we have Yakinder ready to join us over here from the VP side. Yakinder, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear. First and foremost, congratulations. How did you feel about the match today? Did it live up to your expectations because you were wrecking them on Inferno?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say so because I know we wanted to win. We knew we could win against them. We lost one match against them in play-ins. We wanted to show ourselves that we are still better than them, and it worked out. I'm glad that we are got into the next game against who we have, Liquid Vitality.
I'm taking a look at it right now just to make sure. I don't want to get it wrong for you. You're going to be playing against the winner. Or you're either going to get Vitality, Liquid. Yeah, you're either going to get Vitality or Liquid, so there's that.
It's a difficult matchup, though.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier.
Anyway, I have a question for you. You lost to Navi, Dust 2, and then you lost to Nip, Dust 2 as well in the planes. Today you didn't pick it. Is it because you didn't feel comfortable enough to pick it, or is it just you wanted to pick straight up Inferno?
No, like we feel comfortable on Dust 2. We talked about both of those losses against NIP and Navi, so it doesn't matter for us, but we just wanted a change maybe. Got a bit tired of Dust 2, so we wanted to pick Inferno just to fresh it up a bit.
So, looking forward to the game tomorrow, which is going to be against, you know, two big teams in general. Like, do you feel like confident enough for that? Because like you have a pretty good like performance recently, you know, winning, you know, big tournaments like Flashpoint 1 or 2 and then DreamHack and Summit. You know, you're feeling like a hot team. Like I think I even like before the tournament started, I think I had my own research and I was looking at VP, and a lot of teams feel like they're not really focusing on you two, like you guys in general. And I feel like people should actually respect you more and feel like this is a team that should be considered like a top 3 team more. Like, would you put yourself in that region, like in general, like what I'm saying, or what are your like personal opinion?
I feel like when we won Flashpoint and at the end of last year, we were like really good. We played a lot and we practiced a lot, but now it's a bit. We have a period where we're a bit worse than usual, and we're trying to fix that. We're trying to do as much as possible and trying to get back in the form. So we're losing kind of stupid rounds sometimes, but it will be good. I think we're gonna get tempo.
So let's just look at a bigger picture here, and that would be the CIS region and sort of the growing thrive that's happening there. What do you think about the current status of the CIS region within Global Offensive?
I actually mentioned this in HLTV Confirmed that I feel like it's possible to have four CIS teams in top 10 this year.
Okay.
Because Spirit is a great showing, as you saw against Heroic, against
G2.
every team that they played, right? As G2, right? Yeah. And Gambit is showing really good upcoming skill that I feel like they're evolving really fast at the moment. And I feel like when they evolve to the furthest point, they can be in top 10 easily. And yeah, us and Navi, I guess 4 teams could be in top 10 this year.
Well, cool, man. We're going to keep an eye on you guys because I think some people are putting you as their dark horse, I think is what the best way to put it. They see you guys going further than what people want to give you credit for. So thank you so much for your time, and congratulations staying alive.
Thank you. Have a nice day, guys.
Adios. So that's Ekinder. Pretty hot prospect coming out of the region, and obviously he's got a few words to say right there. Very well spoken as well. Speaking of being well spoken, now is the time to check in with the Ninjas in pajamas. That's right, we're going to bring Threat on and talk to him direct. Threat, it's a rough day in the office, bud.
Yeah, that was really tough. I really expected more.
I mean, I can understand that since you've been my former coach and you always have high expectation for your own team and what you had before with us when I was playing. But like, if you can explain a little bit what is your thought process after the game. Of course, it's a tough game and it's too close to the game is already over. But like looking at Overpass, I was expecting a little bit more on the second half there at least.
Yeah, I completely agree. If we start with Inferno, we came into a really bad economic game. We lost a lot of key rounds, but it was really the CT Overpass that surprised me. We even the T side as well. We had a 5-0 lead, I think. We sort of struggle sometimes with the mid rounds and we get sort of tense and we sort of mess up the executions. Like there was a round in the end on the T half where we sort of dry walk out Monster and we just simply have no guy turning around for preemptively for the flash. And Kai could get 3 kills. It's sort of those rounds. And that in combination that I think one of VP's greatest strengths is they're sort of slimy in the mid rounds. They sort of make quick rotations to the other sides and that sort of completely punished us because I sort of felt like our game plan and the openings were fine. We did get a lot of decent trades. We just couldn't execute in the end.
Well, we were just having a discussion in the pre-match, and I kind of want to bring this back to a Swedish level conversation, which is, the scene itself and sort of growing it going forward. What are your current thoughts?
Well, it is very exciting this year. We just brought in our Young Ninjas team, so a lot of interesting prospects. We've brought some of them in for Scrim from time to time, and they're all very good players. Obviously, Zetior, very good showing. Obviously, there will be some inconsistencies that we showed here. And you see Jaquinho and Fnatic, even though they went out in the play-ins here, they did come in second place in Summit. So I think we're sort of looking at a generation swap or whatever in Sweden right now. And there's a lot of really interesting prospects.
Yeah, generational shift. And, it's kind of like filling a void, right? Like kind of filling that hole. And at least for filling the void here, do you mind saying something to the NIP fans? Because this is probably not what they wanted, obviously, or expected.
Okay, so all NIP fans, we're looking at all our problems. If there's something positive to take from this match and the previous one is we know our mistakes. We will work on them. We have quite inexperienced teams when it comes to these big tournaments. So we will improve faster than the other teams. I promise you.
Thank you very much, Threat, and commiserations. It's not always gone that way, but this time it did, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
See you, man.
See you.
I like that guy, Chris.
Yeah, I really like him as well. I mean, he's the person basically shaped my whole career in a way. Like, he was at least a starting point and actually brought me into the bigger league, basically. So, all thanks to him there, I'm actually will still continue to play for such a long time.
And anything else you learned from me? Is that fair to say? Or
no,
I'm just kidding. It's a yoke, guys. It's a yoke.
It's a yoke.
It's
okay,
a yoke.
Okay. No,
yeah,
it's
now
not,
you
yeah,
get it.
Okay.
We could take a quick look at round number 5. And Kasad, I know this is something that you've put together. What do you got?
Basically, I think Tread said it as well at some point. They started off really fast. You can see this like an entry round. They do the double nade. Now, this is a pretty common thing right now these days. Astralis made it a few years back, and all the teams are doing it now. What's interesting here, they kill Jame. They know that Jame is the A guy, the A opper, pretty much default, pain in the ass kind of guy in the A side. And what they do next, they immediately react by taking long. Immediately, there is no stopping. They start running. They know like what's happening here. But Nok is posting up right here. You can see that and waiting for anybody to pick. 2 guys pick him at the other. It's Yekindar and 1 more after it. Yep, and then it's a Buster. After that, it's a clean entrance to the site. You can see the fast reactions from knowing who you killed. You know, the Opera is dead. We're going to fast react by taking long. They're avoiding fights in toilets, on short sands, or whatever you call it. You're just going to straight up long. Nok is going to post up. If somebody picks, somebody did pick. Actually, 2 guys did. You're just going to run in straight. And it's a impossible round to win for VP after that. Even the one guy was like at 18 HP because of those double nades on the same position. So
the guy that boosted him up, it was real low.
Instant reaction from NIP. Perfect reaction at the same point, at the same time. And then easy round. Perfect start for them, 5-0, and then they just stopped.
Fell out.
There was one thing that I noticed, like, just because we were just looking through to that round specifically, you know that Game is the A guy. One thing that actually, the longer game went, I'm very surprised that they weren't really paying attention to Buster. Buster has this move that he loves to go short, and I actually tried to get a peek a couple of times. Like, when VP was starting to get a roll, he actually got a lot of like kills. He got away with a lot of kills, like small details timed there and there.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things that I've noticed through the years when I've competed against VP, even when they were Avangard back in the days. He loves to do those things. So
annoying.
Yeah, it is very annoying. And like, it's not too hard to punish that guy because like, if you just force him into a corner, which he loves to be standing in, you can Molotov him off, get him in the corner, spam him through the wall, or even pop flash and just kill him, because that happened a couple of times. I think I even counted up like maybe 4 or 5 times he killed a person for free.
The thing is with those kind of plays, when you play against that, and he kills you like that, and you're just, what the hell is this guy doing? Yeah. But the thing is, like, he
frustration.
He knows the play. He did it before, and it's backed up by confidence.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna kill you, and then not just that, you're gonna tilt after that, and he's getting like a double win kind of thing, you know.
It's doubling down. For us, we also get the double down because we have a break on the horizon. That means that we're gonna be going to what is Liquid taking on Vitality. Now that is something to get excited for. It's gonna be a little bit of time before we get there. So make sure you get all your lickies and chewies and all the snacks that you need there in between. Zywoo and Elige on your screen right now and in the server very soon.
Cheaters ruining your plays? I have eyes on the enemy. Bad servers stopping your shots? What you need is ESEA. Advanced anti-cheat to stop cheaters. And the best servers around, all with 128 tick rate. ESEA, the best way to play CSGO.
Winning a major is the dream of every professional Counter-Strike player. And in 2019, the CIS squad, Avangard, featuring Jame, Buster, Kicker, Sanji, and Adren, were in touching distance of achieving just that.
And Sanji sneaking in. He's been a very good player so far for Avangard. He needs to save this round and hit some great shots.
The eventual runners-up at the Berlin Major had set the bar extremely high for themselves, and with it, the expectation of more podium placements. Their good run of form continued when they secured themselves first place at the Blast Pro Series in Moscow. The rise piqued the interest of a household name looking to make a return with a strong roster after falling from the upper echelons of Counter-Strike a few years earlier. Virtus.pro signed Avangard in December of 2019 with the hopes that this would return the organization to the stature of its former glory. With the end of year in sight, they dropped outside of the top 10, and the situation continued to degrade as they moved into 2020. Buster, a member of the Star Trio, stepped down in May, looking to take a break from competitive play. Yakindar, an up-and-coming talent with a lot of promise, took his spot for the interim, but results didn't appear to be getting better, as the team fell well and truly outside of the top 30. As the team was hitting rock bottom, Buster returned from a 3-month hiatus to replace Adren, a storied player from Kazakhstan who was struggling to keep up with the modern game. From that moment onwards, the trajectory of Virtus.pro changed, mixing the pure skill and aggression of Yakindar with the already established star trio of James, Kicker, and Buster. They had bolstered their firepower immensely. Starting at the bottom, wading through smaller tournaments in the online era, event after event, they began to pick up steam and notoriety. IEM New York in late October saw Virtus.pro topple Na'Vi twice along their run in the regional major ranking event.
That's a scary spot to hold. That's one. Peeks back in. Oh, it's a double. All right, one and done. I said absolutely nothing of the sort. I promise you, even the barrel's showing. He gets the tag on Perfecto, 15 HP, pistol out. He knows he's doing well here, James.
They would eventually go on to take first place over Namiga.
Sandy onto box. Maybe we've got a problem. There's still plenty of time. There's kits on both of them. Smokes as well. This gets scary. It's getting even worse. Speedak has to clutch. He's got 2 targets. James found him. I think they've got time. And just like that, the comeback is complete.
Just over 1 month later, they managed to secure another title by defeating OG in the grand final of Flashpoint Season 2. And finally, closing out the year with another win at DreamHack Open December.
And that's just it. 2 members of Saul left. Muterus, he's going to go down as well, and that's BP taking it.
2021 began strong for Virtus.pro. A decisive victory at CS Summit 7 in late January, where they managed to keep a clean sheet. And going undefeated was the perfect way to make a statement of intent for a team who continued to take gradual steps back up the rankings. With their sights set on IEM Katowice, this will be Virtus.pro's toughest task yet. Is the team ready to disrupt the status quo of Counter-Strike's Big Three, or will the upwards trajectory stop here?
Hey Future Pros, last year we saw Furia pull off a never before seen triple boost, so I wanted to show you all how they pulled it off with great success. Setting up a boost like this can be incredibly dangerous, but let's look at the utility thrown that maximized their chances for success. To pull off this boost safely, you will need 3 Future Pros along with 2 smokes and 1 flash. Future Pro number 1. You will be the bottom stool for the boost. Head over to A short. Aim down and position yourself slightly to the right of the bottom sandbag. Then just chill out and wait for your other Future Pros to start climbing. Remember to stay uncrouched as your teammates will be able to jump on your head from short. Future Pro number 2. You will be throwing a deep ramp smoke along with a flash. To throw your smoke, get against the wall of the elevator room. Aim at the corner of this roof tile, then run forward and throw the smoke just before you pass the wall. To throw your flash, stand next to the white section of the wall and aim just to the right of the middle section of the first slabs of concrete. Then simply throw the flash. After that, head to short and scale the head of Future Pro 1, giving enough space for FP3, Future Pro 3, to get on their head too. Then all you need to do is crouch and jump when Future Pro 3 gets onto your head. Future Pro number 3. You will get to sit at the top of the castle, but first you'll need to throw a short smoke to block off the vision of T's who could completely ruin the boost. To throw your smoke, stand next to this corner and aim at the top of the scaffolding in line with this underbeam. Now short is blocked off, you can begin your climb. Hop onto Future Pro 1's head. The movement here is a little tricky as CSGO does not like triple boosts. The goal is to immediately jump once you get onto Future Pro 2's head and strafe onto the railing. But I'd give it some practice offline to get the feel of it. If all things go well and the T's respect your smokes, you will have done it. You are pretty much guaranteed at least 1 frag here, but if the stars align, you'll get much more than 1. But that's it, good luck and happy boosting.
My skin full of scars, I can feel anything. Turn up to feel the difference. My eyes cried out, I can feel anything. I'm blind to see a difference. The more we try, the more we lose. Here to fail.
That's a new strat. There's one guy underneath here.
We're not allowed to give you any information.
What?
The pre
I need help.
destroyed you. You can try to
Put this
peek
guy
if you
here,
want.
man. He's gonna flash. Okay. Don't peek, bro. Don't peek.
Oh wait, we.
Oh, you bullied
Sorry,
him.
but look at how I. The pre was not expecting that.
Last two are playing
Yo,
default.
Magix is like shaking over his gloves.
You want to all day at the stairs?
No, no,
Give me
no.
data.
Bro. They're just chilling,
My
yeah.
God, they're gonna come
Ooh,
soon.
look at that molly, bro. I'm taking a picture of that. But I execute. Are you taking a picture? Wait, screenshot.
Yeah, picture. Wait, let me get my phone.
Wait, let me see the flashes.
Wait, I mollied again, by the way.
Hello.
Okay.
Shit.
That's the CPEX treatment.
Bro, just give me the Q and I'll give you the flash, okay? Flashing.
Don't see anyone. Have another flash?
I have unlimited flashes, bro. How many? You want one more?
No, let's
Let's explode.
Bro, go to the stairs. I'm flashing. We need to think we have two flashes
Yo,
each.
flashing? Bad. I did one more.
Bro,
There's
not
one
too
more
deep, not too deep. Yeah, get close. I have last flash.
Wait, do it close though. They're coming.
Wait, he's
bro.
running! Flashing!
Yeah.
Man, what?
I got him. Nice.
I'm chilling. Yo, I'm flashing.
Do it.
Is the fourth?
Oh, they're not here.
Bro, I think one way is better here.
Perfect. They're coming.
They execute?
Oh, what?
You can see him through the smoke, bro. Aha!
Okay.
Oh. That's lost.
Wait, device plant the bomb. 15 seconds. Device plant the bomb. You're gonna lose the round.
Tapping.
Device is saving. He's saving. It's fine.
Hello there.
Wait. 1 second?
Why are you not hiding, Mantu? What the f?
What?
You said he was saving, man. Bad comps.
I'm going one more time, dude. Pretty hard, man. Not that or I suck. I killed 32. I'm good with that. I'll stop there. I'm happy with that.
we made it. Feet far off the pavement, but we go up, up, up. 1,000 miles a lot. Oh no, we stay understated. Pressure feels amazing. Just the dust, just the sand, just the motion of your hand. Just the dust, just the sand, yeah. Travel like traveling. Just the dust, yeah. Just the sand. Hey, just the dust, just the sand, just the dust, just the sand. Always you and me, trying to be weightless. Like we're the two surviving pieces of something. Always you and me, trying to be weightless. And I know it feels like light years in the making. Oh, duh, 1,000 miles of luck. Don't look down, we made it. Feet far off the pavement, and we go up, up, up. 1,000 miles of luck, yeah, yeah. We stay understated. Pressure feels amazing.
Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. I've been running over all the corners of my mind. trying to find a story to believe. And I've been getting sick of how I'm spending all my time searching for a way to find relief. And I can stay inside, go to sleep, but I feel like I need to let go. And I can spin a web of any story that I like, but tonight I wanna make a masterpiece. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar. I'm just trying to learn from all the things that I've been told. I'm gonna paint a new reality. It doesn't take a lot to turn a person into gold. Yeah, I've been getting good at alchemy. And you can stay inside in the dark, but without it you never let go. And when you're done with hiding and you wanna have control, you and I can find a perfect fantasy. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar.
Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the tide was looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. I'll take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Stay up all night, wanna take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise.
Telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this, yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control, yeah, truth be told, we know it, it's just the way we live, we own it. Cause that we love the thrill, we know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. We love the thrill. They're looking at us, an audience, keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this, yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even care what they all say. They think we're out of control, yeah, truth be told, we know it. It's just the way we live, we own it. Cause that we love the thrill, we know it. It's just the way we live, we're grown-up kids. It's just the way we live, we know it. It's just the way we live, we own it. Cause that we love the thrill, we know it. It's just the way we live, we're grown-up kids. We're grown-up kids. Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, cause I got a thing to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you your mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not soaring that I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's set in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover. Cause I'm not soaring that I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. you see me coming, better run for cover. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. We were caught in the fire. Our faith was left out in the open. Saw the fear in your eyes as we move through the dust. Nights turn into days, one by another. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Fighting as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the line, the trust in our hearts beating louder. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Fighting as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise. Everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die.
Faced myself in the mirror not so long ago, and I told me, do you know? I told me, do you know? All alone in your head, but you don't have to pretend that you will make a change, 'cause you don't wanna change. I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. I wanna walk the sky, alone among the stars, without forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, or I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Hey Future Pros, taking the A side on Nuke can be brutal, but this set of util from Mousesports should help you get a foot in the door. This was done on a partial buy, but there is no reason it wouldn't work on a full buy. Mousesports start off by throwing the basic outside smokes to keep the CTs guessing on their positions. So if you want to know how to throw those, check out our pro tip on how to throw the outside smokes. To pull off this execute, we'll need 5 Future Pros along with 2 smokes, 3 mollies, 4 flashes, a decoy grenade, and an additional 3 smokes for outside if you desire. Future Pro number 1. You will be throwing the Heaven Smoke along with a Rafters molly and a flash. To do this, hop up onto Silo and position yourself over the edge of this pipe. Crouch down and aim along this line of the dome that meets the far right girder. Then stand and throw the smoke. Then, while in the same position, pull out your molly and aim between the 2 lines just below the coping and throw. Frozen's molly missed here, so make sure you throw it just a little lower and it will land. Then finally, crouch and aim at the bottom center of these 2 windows and jump throw your flash. After that, head down to lobby and hold any CT ramp flanks that could come in. Future Pro number 2, you will be throwing a flash followed by a sight molly. To do this, hop up onto T-roof and in the middle of the left side of this vent thing. Get your flash out and aim at the corner of the floor section and simply jump throw the flash. Then pull out your molly and aim just above the yellow railing in between these 2 sections of the wall cladding. Simply jump throw your molly. The molly won't cover the entire site, but it will force the CT into an isolated position. Future Pro number 3. You have it pretty easy and only need to throw 2 flashes to help get out of Squeaky. To throw your flashes, get into the back corner near these boxes. Aim below this section of the yellow girder and running throw your flash as your teammate opens a door. Peek wide and toss your second flash into the cubby of the second CT vent. Then hold the main smoke and keep an eye on vent 2. Future Pro number 4. You will start off the round by shooting the front set of windows, throwing a decoy, and then throwing the main smoke. You heard that right, a decoy. This is used to break the back window for Future Pro 1's Heaven Smoke. Get your decoy in hand and line up with the truck. Aim to the top of the wire in line with this part of the AC unit and jump throw. To throw your main smoke, get into Squeaky as fast as you can so you can do the lineup before it gets smoked off by the CTs. Position yourself to the right of these 3 wires, close to this very tiny little dot, but don't worry about being super precise here. Then aim between the door handle and the lock. You are the one who gets to decide when to go on this execute. If there is a smoke, wait it out and tell your teammates to hold. When it fades, it's go time. Open the door and immediately throw your smoke. Push out and hug close to the hut to avoid any of your teammates' flashes and take space onto the site. Finally, Future Pro number 5. Arguably, you have the best role. All you will need to do is molly second vent and follow Future Pro 4 and trade them if they get killed. There isn't really a lineup for this molly, so just know where second vent is and get that molly out as soon as the door opens. I hope you made it this far because that's it. This will be something you'll have to practice with your 5-stack to get the timings down, but if pulled off correctly and with a little luck, I'm sure you can make it work.